48 teams, 3 international events, 1 world champion. Get ready for VCT 2025.
It is day 2 of kickoff here at VCT Pacific, back with more of the chaos that you know and love. Mika Fabs here with Big Time and Pilsky, and my question is, based on what happened yesterday, I feel like even if you think you know Pacific, you don't exactly know how the matches will pan out. Have you guys recovered from yesterday? Because Pacific can and still will surprise you somehow, some way. Am I right?
You're totally right, and I think that I'm almost a little bit disappointed that we didn't get more upsets yesterday, because I just love when things get chaotic and the bracket gets flipped on its head and everyone's predictions get ruined, which I'm sure there's a few teams today will want to be doing that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one thing that's so amazing about this region, is I truly feel like it has so much potential for upsets, and especially today. I don't know about you guys, but for me it was really hard to call my pick'ems. I know we all aligned.
Yes.
Upon the first matchup, but I don't think that's a reflection.
There was no collusion. That was all individually people choosing that. But I'm pretty sure literally everyone, mostly Mika though, would have been racking their brains about what to do.
I have something to say about that. But before anything else, do you guys know how to play Dakji?
No.
I mean,
I don't either. Apparently Jesse Vash does.
I just hope they shoot better in the server. I hope they aim better in the server than they did at Dakji, because that was not impressive.
But I feel like it's so hard. I mean, they make it look so easy in like Squid Game, right?
Yeah.
But apparently it's so hard. But you're absolutely right. Today is very difficult for me, ladies and gents. But, going back just a little bit to yesterday, right? We did have Boom versus T1.
Yep.
And yes, T1 did come out on top, but we certainly didn't expect it to happen in that way.
Incredibly winnable series for Boom. In fact, I kind of feel like if they didn't get E-Code on Pearl, that was their series to win. And I think that it looks a lot less close than it was, because it's the second half of Fracture. As far as I'm concerned, that was 5 neck in neck halves of Valorant, and then one very one-sided half of Valorant to close it out for T1.
Yeah, I mean, I think losing is always a very painful experience in Valorant. I know they'll have gone home and they won't have been very happy with themselves, but I think from my perspective, that little bit more outside perspective, they should be able to hold their head up high and carry some momentum into the lower bracket. Look, they played the favorites, arguably the favorites of this tournament, very, very close, so they can carry that through.
And hey, Nongshim, yes, we did expect them to win against Zeta, but I don't think we expected them to really stick to their guns and see like almost the exact same Nongshim that we did in Ascension.
Yeah, they especially on Split, they really did try to keep that style going. I'm surprised how much of a struggle it was for them to beat Zeta, and I think Persia said as much in the interview that he was expecting them to do a lot better than they did. I think Zeta won't be happy with their performance yesterday either, so I think both of those teams are going to have to lift, whether they're in the upper or the lower bracket, because you really can't take any games off.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll both want to step up their performance as they head into that next round, and it's just about who can turn that around the most in such a short frame of time.
Well, you know what? We have a lot of exciting players entering that stage for also the very first time today. And I'm really curious, we're going to turn back time a little bit to, maybe last year, put you guys back in the coach's seat, and we're going to have you guys draft your own team based on the players stepping on that stage today. Now, the rules are a little bit special for this one. You have to pick one player per team and for one role each. Now, as you can see, we do have, 5 roles over here. So what is interesting about this is, okay, you might pick 4 teams, sure, we don't have a 5th team, but chat gets to pick the flex player for this.
Please, chat, for once, do the right thing. Help out your boy.
Chat will, when we say the time is right, you guys can, give these guys some suggestions.
Yeah.
Or maybe suddenly flip around, their team and cause chaos, perhaps, and give them a player that maybe they wouldn't have expected at all. So I think you guys have prepared for this very well. Yeah. Production certainly has, because look at this. We got these excellent magnets over here.
Big time and I are going to make it even harder for ourselves. We've had a gentleman's agreement to not pick the same players.
Really?
Yeah, we can pick the same players, but we've agreed not to.
No,
and
because
I'm going to be even more gentlemanly, and I'm going to let Big Time pick his first player.
Wow.
Okay, what role are we starting with?
We're starting with Duelist.
Or you can pick another role if you want to just pick another.
No. Let's start with Duelist. With Duelist. I think there are a lot of good duelists on show today.
Yeah.
But I think there is one who has been the highlight of his team for the last 2 years, who has now got a supporting cast around him. I would be hard-pressed not to take May as my very first pick in that duelist spot.
Okay.
We have May over here filling the duelist role for Big Time's team. What about you, Pilski?
Well, as far as I understand it, I can pick Udatan as my duelist today if I want to, even though he's been playing Senti lately, just due to the stand-in factor. But it would be a crime not to pick Jemkin, especially with how well he's been doing. He's very consistent. I know he's going to give me the numbers that I need.
Ooh.
And Ewok's going to tell him where to go and point that gun, and that man's got a big brain, so...
I think it's a very interesting head-to-head matchup between the two duelists. I think they are, like, in some ways they're very similar in style, in some ways they're very different in,
Plus,
in
look,
how they work.
how can you not pick him? How can you not pick this guy? Look how cute he is! He's not like that in the server. He's bloody scary in the server, but outside of the server, wow.
Yeah, I do say
dreamy.
this hairstyle over here for May, that is in fashion. Finger hearts as well, you know. Yeah, but yeah, Jemkin, hey, he has been flexing over to the Sentinel role sometimes as well, so you may have a very diverse duelist there. Let's move on to our next role.
I'll give you the first pick.
Initiator.
Yes.
All right. I don't remember what exactly the choices are for. What factors decide who's going to be the player that wins for us. But I think fragging has something to do with it, and I know that this man here has a little bit of an idea of how to put numbers up on the scoreboard, so I'm going to pick Crystal. It's going to be his VCT Pacific debut as well. This man has just been dominating in Ascension. He went plus 30 in the China Ascension Grand Final, so I think I'm going to go for him.
Hey, a two-time grand finalist in 2 different regions in Ascension. That is an excellent, that's an excellent track record. What about you, Big Time?
Yeah, I mean, I think Crystal brings seriously amount of longevity experience, and he would have been my first pick if he didn't put me there. But
I think you're going to pick who I was going to pick, maybe.
I think I'm going to go for Envy.
Envy, yeah.
Oh!
It's hard to not go for Envy, isn't
Envy
it?
is a crazy fragger. In my
Very
mind,
Envy.
he's still the standout on this Team Secret team. He's incredibly fun to watch and incredibly hard to play against, by the way. Really didn't enjoy going against him very much. So
What made him hard to play against?
It's a combination of so many things. I think he's able to be so in your face, and the way Team Secret are structured, he's put in a lot of very, very powerful positions, and he's the one you have to face the most in a lot of ways. And he's just very good at kind of taking that contact, even from this kind of initiator role. We know he kind of flexes around a little bit more as well. He's able to do a lot of things, but in my mind, he's always been the most consistent for them, and I'm expecting him to do big things on my team today.
He's a very smart player as well. Absolutely love his game sense. Let's move over to the next role. Who is your Sentinel?
Sentinel. Let me check my notes real quick here.
I would have just...
Oh!
I wanted to pick Udatan, but he's duelisting now.
Yeah, no, I know who I'm going for. I'm going for Jinboon.
Okay, you're going for Jinboon.
Okay.
1000%.
That's a rookie debut that you're going to be back in Jinboon.
Oh, I back him all the way.
Yeah, you're telling me you scrimmed against him a fair bit. You rate him quite highly.
Very powerful in scrims last year.
Yeah.
Saw it firsthand. Just on this Sentinel role especially, the way he lurks, the way he holds down these sites is just very, very strong. I think it will translate very well to Pacific.
Right, and it has nothing to do with the fact that Jinboon has an identical twin, and you also have an identical twin, Morgan, who's also a coach.
We've got to stick together a little bit.
Yeah,
we've got to stick together
you
a little
picked
bit.
a fellow twin. Interesting. That might be like that telepathic connection across twin sets.
Yeah.
So I do just want to confirm something. You are picking 2 from DFM.
Yes.
And this means that chat will get somebody from another team.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can't go from no more than 2 from each team.
Exactly. All right. Okay. What about you, Pilski?
I will pick for Sentinel Xfero, I think.
Ah.
I think, when he gets the lurks going on RRQ and they have got a good read, especially when the more aggressive players are getting into the game and creating a lot of space, he can be really, really good getting those lurk timings and coming up in a lot of clutches. Like, he's definitely capable of having some big games today.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he has put his name on there with some records in the past, right? Again, very, very powerful selections there.
Yeah.
Well, let's move over to controller now.
So, looking at who I've already picked, I've already got 2 from DFM, and I've chosen 1 from RRQ, and oh yeah, 1 from Secret, there we go. I had to remind myself. So, I want to go in a slightly different direction from the rest of them, and I want to take Pappy.
Papi?
Oh.
I was gonna take Puppy, and I thought it was my
You
turn
could.
to pick, but you can take
You
Puppy.
could.
Was
If-
it your turn to pick?
It
If
was
you
my turn to pick.
Oh,
you
okay.
wanted-
No.
do you want to
I
break the
wanna play
gentleman's
fair.
agreement?
You take it. You
No,
take it.
he broke
You-
the gentleman's agreement first.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
think?
yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
he was a
are-
fine English gentleman.
Are you breaking the gentleman's agreement that you had?
I am definitely
I think we
saying I
should-
need Puppy.
Yeah, move it across to Pilski's
I
team.
need Puppy.
You're
Have it.
giving Poppy to him.
He
Yep.
can have it. There's plenty of other good options.
Okay.
I'm not worried. I'll let you have this one.
Yeah.
I wanted to instigate.
But wait, I can't,
just-
can I? I can't pick him. I literally can't pick him because I've already got 2 from RRQ.
Oh yeah, that's very true.
So you actually do get Puppy.
Yeah, I'll take him then.
Aww, look
There
at
you
that.
go, there you
It
go.
worked out for the better.
Yeah. Okay, so controller. Ooh, I mean, yeah. Ooh, I've already got.
You've already
I
got
can't
enough
pick
from
one
RRQ.
yet.
No.
I can't pick one yet.
That's a shame. Monya would have been an excellent choice.
Yeah. All right, we'll go for 2G. He's been pretty solid on
Okay.
Team Secret as well.
Yep.
He's been putting up some decent stats, and Secret's been a very consistent team where I don't feel like anyone really bombs in performance, so he's definitely going to get what you want done from him. So
All right.
I'm pretty happy with 2G as well.
All right, that's pretty good. And now we are down to our last role. It's going to be Flex. And this is going to be up to chat to pick. So let's start with Pilski's team. I believe you need somebody from DFM. So who will be the Flex from DFM? Can
All right,
we take a
chat.
pick at chat right
Don't
now
let me down.
and see who they might suggest? Take a pick. I don't know if you want to pick the first.
You know what? I've seen the first one,
Okay.
and it is incredibly risky, but it could pay off huge.
Trust chat.
Um,
They know what they're saying.
So we have a chat here early on. Let's see, where's the username? Has it already scrolled that fast? Is there that many of you? Because I saw
There are a lot
someone
of people
mention him already. Someone said Gien.
Do we want Gian?
I did see that too. But
I
can't
saw
remember
it,
the
but
name.
it's already scrolled past so fast.
Are we hearing Gian?
Gien, yeah, I'll take Gien. All right,
Gien.
let's do it.
All right, Gian on the board for Pilski's team. All right, pretty promising. Now we need for Big Time. Who are you missing over here? You need somebody from RRQ. So chat, if you can help out Big Time, give him a player from RRQ to round up his roster.
Come on. I need to know what you think.
Someone
is the-
says
is the best
dubstep.
pla-
All
Someone
right,
says Forsaken.
Get him in the team. Bring him back.
What's up, Dubstep? I
Keep
know you're
throwing the
watch
ideas.
partying right now.
Keep throwing the ideas. I need
Where is
RRQ
it?
players, chat. I need RRQ players.
RRQ players.
RRQ.
We're looking for RRQ here.
I'd love
There's
to
a-
get Forsaken in, but he's not playing today.
There's a lack of. Somebody says minimize.
Minimize.
Where there's a lack of yellow.
Very flexible, trust me.
Over
I can
here.
Verify.
Okay.
Somebody give me an
Here we
RQ.
go.
So what's the
My-
username?
What is
My
it? What is it?
boy. It's Emilio Marmot with Monya. Spelt with a 9. I don't know why there's a 9 in there.
Ilio Marama. He says
But
Monya.
Monya is a player who I have a tremendous amount of experience
pretty
with.
good.
I coached
Yeah.
him in 2023,
Dude.
and I think he's truly exceptional. I think excellent choice to help round on my team there.
I think your team's going to destroy mine, I'm not going to lie. But there's a chance that Gien is the ultimate ranked demon.
True.
And I'm going to be alright.
Yeah.
Hey, these are looking pretty good. I do have some questions, but I think those are also going to be answered as we see our matches today, especially since your teams will be, we'll decide this little rivalry here based on the ACS of all of these players that you have chosen here. So we're going to leave them here. We're going to leave them here for the rest of the series today, or rather the rest of the broadcast today, and see how well you guys do.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, by the way, about your rosters?
I'm feeling okay about it. I feel like I have a couple more risks than Big Time. I think Big Time's got the safe
did.
picks.
Yeah.
And I should have thought more about the team limits, I'm thinking, because I was thinking
Yeah, you went
Xfero's a
RRQ
great
early.
pick, but I actually think Jinbun, that you're thinking like a GM. You're thinking
Yeah.
Jinbun, coming in from DFM, that could be something that pays off, but he's also just been pretty consistent as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I think that's a solid pick for Senti.
We saw Big Time behind the scenes. He had like his notebook out and he had like all of the rosters and he was crossing.
I do not
You know,
want to lose.
He had
There's
graphs.
a-
He
yeah,
had
yeah,
all
yeah.
those.
He had
Consistent.
charts. He had this like program running and he was looking into the future.
I didn't come here to finish bottom place.
Yeah.
I'm here to win the prediction.
Honestly, that's kind of why I picked Gien as well, I think, because I'm thinking, look, your team's looking pretty strong, but at the same time, I could gamble on a rookie.
Yeah.
He could go absolutely ballistic today, and that could be the end of the day.
Hey, guess what? That's what some of these teams are doing exactly. Especially,
Oh.
one of the teams on our first match of the day, for example, Global Esports, they're bringing in a lot of rookies to the Pacific stage, right? And as we know, these names are tested, but not exactly on this level, not exactly on the tier 1 level.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of rookies at the moment in Pacific overall. I think it was almost half the league. And there's some caster teams going on here as well. It's
We
not
got
just
Quack
us
and
on the
Shobra in on the action as well.
Yeah,
All
okay,
right.
May,
Envy's so popular.
Darion, there you go. Quack with a little bit of MYSG bias. And
Okay.
I don't mind that, to be honest, because Darion, I considered him as well. He's been cranking
Darion's
the
a dangerous
Senti
sentinel. Yes,
Yeah,
he's a very dangerous
for
sentinel.
DSG lately. So, you know, it's not like he's super out of practice just because he hasn't been playing in the Tier 1 league at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. These are looking pretty good, but it also gives you an idea of which players to look out for today, right? As we mentioned, Envy, a very, very popular pick, but you can see exactly why. And we're going to be looking at him in our first match because that's going to be Team Secret versus GE. I'm sweating already, guys. I'm sweating already for this, especially
8
since
Filipinos in the same
I know
team.
there's so much Pinoy pride here. I'm so proud. Tita Mika's so proud today. But as we see GE here taking, would you say that this is incredibly risky, or this is just talent that is untested on this stage but will do very well?
I think that for GE, this is picking a lot of players that they're pretty confident in. I think that Papi has been long overdue for a move up into Tier 1. He's been a fantastic player for a long time. Crystal, we've seen him in back-to-back Ascension finals, and the last one that he was in, he did fantastic over in Ascension CN. And another player that did fantastic in Ascension CN as well, Yudatan and Freeing were pretty much hard carrying Rare Atom. So I think with the addition of a couple more of the Filipino talents, and obviously Darion's just here as a stand-in for Patrick Hu, as far as I understand it, and they've had to shuffle the roles around a little bit, but I still think they've got an extremely strong team.
Yeah, I think one thing that's definitely worth mentioning with this roster is that they took their time to build it. They did long series of open tryouts to try and find the best players. So the coaches got to watch a lot of these players, as well as the VODs that you would normally watch when scouting a player. They got to watch them firsthand in the server, see how they compare to their other kind of people who they might have chosen to pick, so you know that they're going to fit into the coach's system well because they've had a lot of time to sort of scout them out very thoroughly. So I'm expecting them to click well together as a very cohesive team because they've had such a long time to build it up. I do think Patrick Hu not being able to make it and Darion having to step in is a little roadblock for them. Obviously, if you have to swap anybody out, it changes things in how you have to practice and the styles. Just different people are different people, right? They play differently, they communicate differently. But I think they still had a decent amount of time. I'm not sure on the exact timeline, but I think at least a month or so to figure it out. So I'm expecting them to be able to slot in well.
Yeah, and that's my big question with the GE roster because they still have things to work out, right? Versus Team Secret that has already had so much time to work everything out. This is a roster that's coming in basically picking up where they left off, so to say. So I think, you know, coming in with Coach Meow, for example, that might be the only adjustment, but this roster is very, very comfortable with each other.
Yeah, they almost made their changes before Split 2 of last year. And we saw that Split 2 for them was quite good. They took maps off Gen G, they took maps off T1. They competed well with the heavy hitters of the league. Now, their off-season results have not been quite as good, but once again, it's the off-season, so we don't want to look too closely into it. But this roster itself has definitely shown potential.
Yeah, I mean, off-season results being rough is a bit of an understatement. You can't be losing to an Australian team. Like, Mika, name an Australian player for me.
Minimize.
Oh,
Who was that?
I hate
Pilski.
you. Oh, I mean, barely a player. That's a bit of a stretch. But yeah, I think, yeah, that's a rough run in the off-season for Team Secret. At the same time, though, that ASAPRED off-season tournament, that is a really rough format. A couple of best ones and you're out on the first day, and I experienced that firsthand. So they've gone from a tournament that they won to maybe not having the result that they would have wanted. What is going on here? Okay, there's a bit of a metaphor going on here. You know, GE, they have completely torn everything out. They've rebuilt the entire house and come back with something new. You know, which roster are you preferring, especially in the coach positions? I think they've really elevated their assistant coach spot, as far as I'm concerned.
Excellent work. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think I understand where the rebuild has come from, and it's totally right for them to take it in a new direction. It does mean you don't have that kind of chemistry, though, that Secret will have, being a core for a long time. That is really important. Understanding how the people around you will react to situations is massive. GE don't quite have that yet, but it's definitely an interesting matchup.
I'm still looking at, you know, what production has done over here. I hope we see more of this kind of, you know,
we got to give a raise to the graphics.
I know. I know the graphics were very, very popular last year as well. It's stepping it up.
I've been rooming with Big Time, and I'm pretty sure at least one of those bodies on the GE side is his actual torso.
Really?
Very true.
So.
They're actually all me.
So the rumors are true then.
Yeah, of course.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as you mentioned, off-season results are kind of, they're arbitrary at this point for both of these teams, right? Because they've kind of kept their cards close to their chest, not exactly sharing much, and there isn't much on record to go off of. So I would say, despite what we're seeing on the screen over here, it's kind of a clean slate.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty fresh, and I think just to touch on a little bit, the graphic previously for Team Secret, they didn't change very much at all. They've kept things pretty much the same. My big concern for them is really the coaching staff slots, I would say. Not having maybe enough coach support. They've got Coach Miao coming over from Boom, but some of the other coach additions to the other teams have got me a little bit more convinced on what Secret is bringing. But at the same time, they did very well last year. They were one series really away from going towards an international event. So they have still been a very consistent, a very strong team. And, they're going to back themselves as a result of that. They're going to feel like they were so close. They were almost there, and they just need that extra 1%. And maybe practice is what is going to make the difference here for them.
I have a question for both of you, as previous coaches. You come into a team, and this is a roster that's already very comfortable working with each other, that basically have, stayed together for, a month. Is that a comfortable position to be in? Or is it more of like you're kind of, hey, can we try this idea? What is it like?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, where it's like, if you're joining an existing core, you have to look at what's already working for them. They'll already have some systems that they really believe in and they believe are successful. If you just, if you come in and blow the whole thing up, it's not very good.
Yeah.
It kind of ruins it for everyone. So you just want to slot in, add on top of what they're already doing. Like, garnish it nicely, season it, and don't start chopping away.
Right. Bit by bit, right? And as we're seeing with our map veto, I believe it's up right now. I do have a bit of a question. As we're seeing here, Bind is out, and Haven is out as well. There is a running gag on, the local Philippine broadcast that Haven is Mapa ng mga Pinoy, or the Philippine map. But we're seeing Team Secret here pick Abyss, and I just flashed back to what happened the last time they picked Abyss, and there was a sudden Primi. I don't think Primi is on GE this time though, so how is it going to go? Are they going to be able to execute what they originally had planned on this map?
Yeah, I think so. It's not a map that they're too unfamiliar with, so they should be quite happy with that.
So map selection
as you mentioned, I'm not surprised that GE have taken out Haven there. I really like that they played Veto Chicken with Fracture. I think that a lot of teams that are not willing to play some of the new maps or banning them out in the first phase are putting themselves at a disadvantage or giving themselves a disservice in the Veto. I think it's really good to play Veto Chicken with some of the newer maps and make the other teams play it who are going to be just as comfortable as you are.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the Abyss pick from Team Secret. If I'm not mistaken, they played the Chaos over the Ascent default comp. With Ascent out of the pool, it was a map that was great for them. But they can take a lot of those fundamentals across, a lot of those combinations across, the kind of pairings will kind of naturally fit into this map with this composition. So it's kind of a way for them to use that. But then coming into Split for GE, we saw some interesting stuff from Split in GE when in the off-season they were running it with Sova, which has kind of been a controversial pick for a long time, but that speaks to their value of the Neon in the off-season. So obviously when using Neon, you don't have the raise to break all the trips, so you swap Sova in with the Shock Darts, which is a very nice and easy swap, even though it's not common. So I'm curious to see if they still believe in Neon enough to bring the Sova in to complement that.
That seems to be like a running theme, like how much do you still believe in the Neon, right?
That time yeah, look start करके
how many Pinoys do you think are going to fall off Abyss in this series?
Everyone.
Everyone.
I think everyone goes. It's an important move. You gotta save your guns sometimes. So
Correct.
around, you gotta just get off. You don't want to give them the orbs.
You think everybody's gonna fall off, take a tumble at some point in that map? Well, more predictions coming up. Our talent predictions. I just want to say. I just want to say.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
Originally,
8 आदमी लोग
I didn't
global
want
sport
chat.
जीतेगा
I didn't want to vote. Okay, I was like, please, no, don't let me vote. I voted no. I have evidence. I voted no for this. I just didn't want to choose. Do not make me choose. I'm very happy, by the way, that we have so many Filipinos over here. But this is difficult just because I'm like,
Yeah, I think it's really, really worth hammering the point home that the fact that almost everyone has gone for global is not a fair representation of how one-sided this matchup is. This is a this is a coin flip. And actually, I think it's a bit of a disservice to Secret to say that they're going to lose it. Like most people saying they're going to lose
എന്തായാലും ആയി കഴിയുമ്പോൾ ദോലായിരിക്കുന്ന സാധനം ഇവിടെ
we are
മേടിച്ചു
all
നോക്കണം
getting
എന്തോ
carried
ആയിരിക്കുന്ന
away with
റെഡ്
just
ബുൾ
the big names that are coming into
അത് ഇവിടെ
Global.
മേടിച്ചു
We all
നോക്കണം
wanna see
റെഡ് ബുള്ളിന്റെ
players
പുതിയ
like
ക്യാൻ ഇറങ്ങിയെന്ന് തോന്നല്ലോ അതാണ്ട്
who've been
New
popping
can,
off
man.
lately, especially in the tier 2, coming really strong to this season. But Secret have been a very consistent team, so actually to see them lose this match would be somewhat surprising.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think it's closer than the predictions are predicting. In my mind, I've got 2-1 for Global, so I'm expecting close. I'm expecting overtimes even, to be honest. I think
You want overtime?
I always want overtime. I'll stay here all day.
I don't know
Okay.
if Mika's blood pressure can handle it.
Yeah. Not for this particular series, please. Tita Mika might not be able to handle it at that point. But yeah, it's also there is also a fact that these, Poppy and Kellyas, they have gone up against the core of Team Secret so many times in the past.
अच्छा, Kellyas मरेगा लग रहा है, Kellyas और Poppy.
They have faced
Poppy
against,
chulo.
they know very well, they know their tendencies.
Yeah.
And there is that thing, right? When you're playing up against a team that you're so familiar with, an upset could very well be in play. Either way, whichever way that goes.
Yeah, I think there's that regional familiarity not only from playing against
Global
each other, but some
esports
of the
start
players
किया
have played
था
on the same teams at times. Like a lot of
6
people
इंडियन
coming
को
from
लेके
talent, does have
अभी
some
2025 है
playing with each other in
5 साल हो
the
गया
same
शायद
team, so know each other very very well.
5 साल में
Whether that's gonna
पांचों
play into
इंडियन
this
हट
one
गया
or not, I'm
अभी
not
सब
surprised personally that
बाहर का आदमी
Joel
लगा
hasn't ended
है
up
सिर्फ
on
वही है
Team
कि
Secret
इंडियन
by now.
टीम
That's
की
what
लेकिन
I've always thought.
Hey, big surprises here all around. We are going to find out just how surprised we're going to be as
अच्छा,
we
इतना
get
आदमी लोग हैं,
started
पता है,
with day
Deathmaker
2 of
है।
VCT Pacific Kickoff.
डेथमेकर इतना अच्छा खेलता है इंडियन के लिए देखने में डेथमेकर बढ़िया खेलता है और हमारा रोफ्यूल भी बहुत अच्छा खेलता है हमको तो लगता है हराया भी था शायद ना अन्ना का टीम जो पता नहीं याद नहीं Let's go.
ഇവിടെ വീശിണ്ട് പിടിക്കാൻ പറ്റും സൈഡ് അടിക്കാട്ടിലെ വീശി വെച്ചിനോട്
Welcome to VCT Pacific
Oh, yeah.
2025. Team Secret, Global Esports.
Well, we've gone back in time a little bit and it feels like you're watching VCTPH here, or at least it just looks that way with Team Secret going up against GE's new roster. On one
Coach नहीं आया है?
side, you have a team that's been tried and tested some
GE
more.
का coach
And
का
on the other, you have a team with 5 talents making their debut on the Pacific stage. Who wins this? Does experience pull through here versus a fresh slate?
Yeah, I usually back the more experienced team. Like, I really do believe in consistency in stage experience, but I think I am getting a little bit carried away with the global roster that they put together. There's a lot of exciting names and a lot of names that can do heavy lifting in the server, and I really expect that maybe it's not going to be some macro masterclass from global, but just some really big heavy hitters that have big maps and kind of combine to win the day today.
Yeah, I feel like right now, what you mentioned about consistency, usually we back that, we go with that team. But why is it that you're backing GE in this case?
I mean, Crystal, Papi, Yudatan.
It's
I
the
watch
individual
these guys.
consistency.
Yeah, the individual players, like the star power on this team is exciting for sure. And also, I feel like I'm confident backing a lot of these guys because you see them consistently deliver in that tier 2 kind of situation. There are some players they
Marco
get
अभी
the
कहाँ
jump up
चल
to
रहा है
tier 1
भाई?
and you think maybe they haven't been prepared properly, whether
भाई,
they
Marco
play
अभी भी
online
चल रहा
or
है।
they haven't had a lot of LAN experience. A lot of these players have been slogging out in
कब से
Ascension
चल
for
रहा
a
है भाई
couple of years
Marco?
now and been pretty consistently delivering, so I feel like I can back them on the Pacific stage.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Even though these players haven't played in Tier 1 before. They are experienced, and they're absolutely not unknown players, you know. People have spoke about all of them for a long time, have played against them in scrims, and really do feel their power, so now they're getting a chance on the Pacific stage. It's quite easy to get behind them, I feel like.
Hey, you're talking about the Tier 2 to Tier 1? I mean, just yesterday we had that, and we were very, very impressed. So right now, looking at our Asian comp for Abyss, what are our initial thoughts here, gentlemen?
I mean, yeah, you mentioned it before, big time. Team Secret, they're really liking to just run that kind of Ascent-esque comp where you can be very flexible with a double in it. As over on the side of GE, you see double control is very popular on Abyss at the moment. It's so helpful for taking mid control to be able to run fakes. Astra has that
Jet,
global
Sova,
presence as
Kaio,
well.
Cypher.
Can be a little bit of a pseudo lurk or
Default.
a pseudo sentinel. So
Will be default.
obviously Darion over on the wing once they move over to attack.
Yeah, those
Default
extra
Salva.
smokes that GE have coming out just give you so much more control over mid. You can use one smoke each. to
Stream
deliver two
snipe कर रहा है क्या?
different
दोनों
places.
default
You
उठाया
take
भाई.
so much control naturally. It's much more slow approach to the game than something like Double Initiator is, where you're looking to kind of be re-clearing space all the time.
Yeah.
But I think it can suit this global team quite well.
Well, we'll see indeed what happens as Global Esports takes on Team Secret. We're going to pass it on over to our casters. Hey, it's Quack, and hey, it's Chobra.
Thank you very much, Mika. Yes, Chobra and Quack here, and we've got
Quality कम जैसे क्यों feel कर रहा है?
match today. I mean, they said it's kind of the Filipino derby,
नहीं, quality
but
कम
really,
जैसे
Global
feel हो रहा है.
Esports an entirely new team, and then Team Secret actually basically the same team.
That's the whole thing,
Yes.
honestly. I mean, I also just want to say, Mika, come on, pick a side.
Come on,
Jesus.
yeah.
Quack
You
back
have
with
to
the
pick a
casting
favorite.
ban.
Yeah, we have to go
Let's
with
go,
at least
let's
one.
go.
I mean, one side is a little bit more Filipino than the other, kind of. She's
little
like
bit.
coming over here like, no, I'm not doing that. Jeez, Mika, jeez. But I will say, I mean, it does kind of also feel like if you're putting the mindsets of some of the players that we have going on here, for Team Secret, there's a bit of pride coming into this match, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you have to uphold that reputation. We like to meme about them being the gatekeepers, but being the gatekeepers is not an easy job. I mean, that means you're always in that top 6, top 8.
Maintain the game.
Time
you
तो
know,
हो गया भाई,
control
135 हो
Hopefully
गया
it's a
क्या
little
हो
bit more
गया?
exciting than that. But I mean, we always like to talk about like top 4 teams, top 6 teams, but doing that consistently is still an accomplishment. And right now, GE, they look like they're ready to challenge that spot.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy feat
Sure,
for sure.
put away
I
a
mean,
second.
they've just come and put this team together. They have their own little
Well, sir,
face-off off-season
कम हुआ जैसा लग रहा है
tournament with a
quality
mixed
जो ना?
bag of results as well.
पता नहीं.
Yeah, I mean, that was, of course, very early on in that roster, but, you know, that was one where it was like, okay, we kind of see the potential, we're not sure where this goes, but then the individual performance during Spotlight Series for some of the players on GE, I think that's when a lot of global fans started to buy in.
Without a doubt, a lot of strong individual performance.
चलो देखते हैं
players on their
बिना
sides,
इंडियन
but
टीम
yeah,
का ग्लोबल
what do you
स्पोर्ट
see?
जीतता है कि नहीं.
Regen armor right off the bat.
With
I mean,
Indian team
you
तो
know,
हो नहीं
let's
रहा है.
talk about the Dream Raid boss in the pistol
Big
round.
touch.
We saw some half armor frenzies yesterday,
चलो.
but the regen coming in
Forward खेलना चाहता है.
alongside the classic here. So Jeremy
Let's go,
just going to
let's
try to go
go.
forward. Not
Yeah.
any extra firepower, but trying to make sure that he's taking those fights and he's able to continue on forward.
Might not have that range though, especially on a map like Abyss, but at the same time, speaking of region armor, it's 2 shares on the other side, but for now, just getting that early info.
Just with a quick tag, not going to spot too much information here from Team Secret, but they're pretty set. They already have eyes on mid as well.
Global though, slight pushes out from B, there's a lot of information there, but still the hit coming through.
Poppy.
Jeremy looking for the right click,
Yeah,
it's not going
Poppy.
to connect. Poppy gets a kill instead.
But they already have backside Poppy right now, surrounded just a little bit. Darion, does he take the time to try to provide support? I think it's a little too risky.
Whoa.
Poppy's good for only 1.
At least something though, still 2G continuing to push forward a little bit, spots out a little bit more. But the smoke kind of covers it as well. So 2-on-1 against the lone Darion inside of the smoke right now, but on the back lines from
तुमसे
heaven,
पीछे,
Bruno's
तेरे
on a
पीछे.
dab, they will
No
be pushed
idea.
out. Darion does not know what's behind him, and Envy has an opportunity of a lifetime. The spike defuse continues to go through. He flicks upwards, gets the second kill, looks for Darion, and gets the shot as well. Envy, 1-on-3 clutch to start things off.
And this is why all of us picked him onto that initiator spot whenever we could. Because this is the type of game sense that this player has. It's not just the aim, it's not just the reactions, but to note that the smoke left a gap, and if Darion's hiding in there, he is not taking the risk to check that gap anytime soon. He sneaks all the way backside towards the CT spawn, and then he's able to creep back in the patience to go for the diffuser first. Just impeccable clutch right off the bat.
Just not something you think about every day, right? To actually go through that smoke
कोई
and
बात नहीं, कोई
slip
बात नहीं,
behind
कोई बात
enemy
नहीं.
lines like that. But still, next round comes through now. And it's going to be some of the outlaw buyouts. Pushes out from Global, though. What is this straight into where it's a Wild Ori who has to turn away?
He doesn't really have much space to work with, though. They're just charging after him. That's a Spectre dropped.
2G tried to provide some support with the paranoia, but unfortunately it just goes all the way through. So that is a little bit of a pickup for Global Esports now. In with the Spectre, continuing to push, trying to get that flank onwards against A.
The position isn't bad for Team Secret. They recognize this, they've taken Heaven, they've taken backside, and they have 2G on the flank. But if 2G falls, that's an extra Bulldog here for the retake.
Bulldog's a really big weapon, but at least Spike down now. Jeremy does have an opportunity. Instant shot through from Envy, and 2G manages to get backwards in towards the site as well. Jeremy in with some shots, tries to trade with the flash, but at the very least,
nice go, guys.
Bulldog
Nice go.
ends it all. Team
Nice
Secret,
go.
yeah, that's quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, it does do quite a bit of damage, especially with Jesse Vash going down with no armor left either. So it does sting, but you still get the spike plant. You should be able to just carry through, and you have that outlaw as well, so there's a lot of threat forcing a lot of that full armor by on the other side.
Still, just thinking about the round, I mean, what a call to actually push all the way through B, and, you know, as a full pistol train, and then finding Wild Ori like that.
Yeah, I do want to give a lot of credit there, because we see countless teams that think they want to commit, and then they back out, right? You don't get that first kill, you get a little scared, but GE going with that no fear strategy, now just going to go with a very, very safe default, obviously, on their buy round. And Crystal gets a nice shot onto Jeremy.
But तेरे पास अभी आने वाला है. हम बोलने वाला था.
Okay, big swing, shock dart to trade. So not too bad for now, but it does weaken the defenses a little. So Team Secret getting a little bit more space to kind of figure out which site they want to hit.
Yeah, Team Secret, the trouble is you're going to imagine that someone fills that mid space, but you're not quite sure from which side, especially with there not being a hard sentinel. You can't really get the tell that, okay, like Cypher is on B, Cypher's on A, or anything like that. So they do have to fish a bit deeper if they want clarity on the situation.
These two players still sticking around mid. The Outlaw definitely spotting down Kelly at the very least. They're trying to pinch him down. Paranoia sent out. 2G goes in for the TP play. Up close and personal, spots the barrel, gets the kill, and that's enough.
That's actually a really good GP. Right outside the smoke, but not deep enough that they might spot you close range. So I like the call, just full faith that you hit the paranoia on someone and they would have to hide behind the bend there, behind the boxes.
Nice pinch.
30 seconds
And
left.
that then pulls the defenses over onto the other parts of the map. GE.
Yeah, you just wait until Wild Oreo gets here, right? A three-man push, you know you're going to have the numbers advantage no matter what.
Ooh.
But only, what? 15 seconds and you already get taken down!
Udo time though, yeah, definitely not going to make it easy for Team Secret. And with 15 seconds left, there's so much pressure. Team Secret needing to push through the smokes now.
Oh no.
And on with the Sheriffs, it's not going to connect. Poppy, Udotan getting the kills, the spike is down, the round is over, but 2G is going to try nonetheless. Poppy will not make it easy. That's a final headshot and G picks up the round.
So in the grand scheme of things, yes, it's your bonus, but also, just given what you have, hopefully that's more of a, hey, as long as we do damage, it's okay round, rather than we're not quite sure what to do, because if that repeats on a full buy round against each other, that spells trouble for Secret.
Yeah, we're already seeing some of the hits not quite going through too well. I mean, I do like the little paranoia play, but at the very end of it all, I mean, Udotan just had that one nasty, nasty shot, side-strafed out from the back.
Oh, and there it is. A lot of GE fans have been telling me that they got a sick viewing party going. Apparently, they got 3 screens worth in that theater, so that's a lot of people, but
Jeremy.
First kill off. And so once again back into mid, so a little bit more space. I think there was a G, an attempt at a push out.
Yeah, Udotan being sent all the way deep. I mean, we see the set play a lot, but Jeremy was just ready for it. And Secret kind of recognizing that GE might want to change the pace. And I think this is going to be something we want to keep an eye on, is that GE, just given their style, the players they have, the coaching staff they have, they seem like a team that's going to be very proactive. Meanwhile, Team Secret, known to be a very default-heavy, very reactive team. And I'm just curious how long Secret is willing to wait each round before they start to take action.
Well, at least 30 seconds have passed, and they're still waiting. The drone is being heard at the very least, though, down B main.
Okay, they're purposely going to show the Cypher Wild Oreo, just making it look like it would have been just himself. But still too much information gained from Poppy, right? That from the shadows lets them know, just stick to B, we're safe on the A side.
So hence the rotation's coming over now. It's going to be the full execute, a full collapse into the B side, starting things off.
30 seconds left.
Jeremy looking for that bit of space, but at the same time pushing off from danger. A couple of players being able to gun down Darren now. All down to Raptors, and Kalias is next.
Crystal only 8 HP, you gotta back off, maybe even go for a save, yeah, because there's no way you're attempting this 2v5, especially not at full health. But something I just noticed there is Darion, his position was okay. I mean, we see that a lot, right? That bit of a tricky play right outside or right inside the smoke on top of danger. That's fine, but a little bit of lack of faith on Crystal. Maybe the comms breaking down or maybe just too much chaos happening. And Darion turns his head away from the jump coming in, and that's when they find a timing against him. But Crystal was watching from the other side. So hopefully that's something we can clean up from Global Esports if they want to keep up in pace against Team Secret.
Yeah, just a little detail in how they had their setup on B site, but unfortunately that's the thing that kind of breaks everything down. It's just so much pressure when there are that many players from Team Secret executing together like that. So even with the information gathered, it's not quite enough, and Team Secret will be able to carry forward, and thus making our predictions feeling a little bit shaky and nervous right now.
Yeah, I do want to, I mean, the Death touched upon it a little bit, but I think actually a lot of people, maybe including us here on the broadcast, are slightly underestimating Team Secret.
भाई कुछ भी मारा है, डेरियन तो कुछ भी मारा है उधर.
But we got to remember, this is that sturdy team. They always make the playoffs. They always give a run for the money against the Giants. I mean, these guys have stuck together for a reason throughout these years.
Absolutely. And their map pick as well, you know, to be fair to Global Esports, but we shall see how the rest of the round continues to play out. Like you mentioned, still being proactive, kind of reactive, actually, to Global Esports. I mean, it's working out so well for them.
And once again, just to say 2-1-2 from GE, Chris is going to let it be known that he's up here. So more than anything, this should help draw out some of the utility from Team Secret if they want certainty of what's going on. Now, until it fails, Team Secret will probably just constantly put pressure on mid and then just choose a site and go, because you know you'll have the numbers advantage. But once that fails, I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see Wild Oreo take some more action as well later in the half.
But at least for now, that sense is that the game plan for Global Esports, they need to figure out where Team Secret are, where they're going to hit, where are those numbers going to be. Still moving all the way across the map now, a bit of a jiggle, and that could be info enough. 0 Point confirms it. Oh, no, actually, he just tags onto 1.
Yeah, but it is the Sova. It makes it a little bit tricky, and they've already committed 3 to the B site. So it looks like GE a bit more comfortable with retakes over on the A side, and perhaps just trusting Poppy, quite frankly, with how well he anchors. But Jeremy, he's still waiting, and the bait works. They've put so much pressure on B. They've let it be known that they've taken their attention off of mid. And Jeremy, the patience pays off.
30 seconds left.
So careful with how he's able to find those one-on-ones. And I was about to say, I mean, it's a lot of trust to put down onto just Poppy anchoring down the site, but here it comes, the hit in towards the B site. Straight through the smokes, Jesse Bash will be able to land 2 headshots back-to-back. Udatan tries to fire back from the back lines, but unfortunately, caught mid-dash. He's just not able to complete the animation of it. Wild Oreo will be able to get the shot, and that's down to just Poppy once again. Not quite able to complete the clutch this time. 2GE will pick up the 4th win for Team Secret.
Yeah, and I don't fault Poppy for going for another kill there, or at least trying to, just because, I mean, it's not an op. Yeah, it's not an op, right? Your teammates can't quite go for the buys anyway, so you might as well just go for a Hail Mary, try to get a round back, try to do whatever damage you can. But something we're noticing right now is that GE, they might have the talented players, but Team Secret is actually keeping them on their toes so much. They're, in fact, kind of using GE's composition against them, actually not giving any information after the initial brawls with the utility in mid. And that means just GE just has to wait. They get antsy, they start to move, they start to peek right into Secret's crosshairs.
And this round looking for the peaks as well. In with the blade storm, but instantly shut down by 2GE.
I mean, you got to call a timeout after this one, I think. Secret just knows exactly what you're thinking.
Straight reads and fully collapsed onto each other right now. Everyone's closing in on the B site. Kelias tries to buy a bit of time with the flash.
I mean, GE, sure, it's just Sheriff's and a shorty, so you'll do whatever you can, but it does not look like you'll be given much of a chance. Very thorough from Team Secret as well. Drone up high, so you're not getting caught off guard.
Yeah, best he can hope for is just a pick or 2. Even the back line is being watched by the trips. And Wild Oreo is alerted to it, so already moving towards the back of spawn.
Yeah, and then you've still got that trip by window as well, right? So there's no chance for a surprise here. Looks like they might just regroup, potentially just go to the spike, see if you can get any exits on all 3 angles. Kelly, yes, okay. That's 1. See if you can get 1 more. A little bit of aim training on this round to stay warmed up.
Flash out, looking for the kill. 2G will be able to keep his sights on towards Raptors at the very least, but then Crystal comes in from stairs. So a couple more shots, but Team Secret still good to go.
Nimby with the shutdown as well. Right. Yeah, already had the no command, but you'll take whatever you can get. Obviously, some extra credits. They are rolling in creds right now on the Secret side. That graphic earlier, you know, with them all going down the financial road, it's paying off right now. But this, I mean, this is just a hard read. 2G set up, you got a crossfire, watching for the push out. You know that G's already pushed out before with all 5 on that eco. And I think a timeout absolutely in order because your focus here on mid, trying to see if there's any mid movement, it's not really paying off. If anything, maybe utilize those double smokes to actually start to push out and deny A main. They've actually just left that empty, right? We talked about it before. Poppy being trusted to anchor. I mean, listen, I think Poppy, you absolutely trust him to anchor. That's not the problem. But you just have 0 information on A main after the first 30 seconds, and Poppy's just waiting. So I think you maybe take that spot, or maybe use the double smokes to take out B main. One or the other.
Certainly going to need some changes or adjustments nonetheless. I mean, like you mentioned, no information found, or, you know, even trying to get a little bit proactive with the pushes out on the eco rounds, they're getting shut down. And that's just how reactive, how patient Team Secret can be, especially with Jesse Vash at the helm. And, oh, you know, also a little bit of a glimpse of their new coach, Boom.
Yeah, Boom, old Boom, Meow, yeah. But he's been with Boom for so long, right? It just kind of flows off the tongue.
Yeah.
But I think you bring up a good point. You got to give credit to Meow. But on the other side as well, Juvenile coming off of an incredible performance with Leviathan last year at Champions and then elevated. He's been grinding away at theory crafting for Valorant, trying to get to the big stage. And here he is. He would like nothing more than to prove that G has the right idea.
Get out of my way.
We shall see what those adjustments will be for now. They are kind of adjusting to that little bit of a recon in towards A main, but then again, that's just the first few seconds of the round.
So just now on A, they had the recon going deep out into A main, and it looked like Poppy was almost in position to throw a paranoia, but no one to follow up on that. Curious to see if they repeat that in future rounds.
At the very least now, it has to be a read back into the B site. It's in with a judge from Jeremy! Not expected at all. And then Darren's down once again. Off with the blades as well. It's been propped up. Global looking for an opportunity to retake, but nothing found yet.
I mean, at this rate, Team Secret, they're looking to finish the half with everyone at 9,000 creds. Behind the judge, when you have the Blade Storm, knowing that this is the execute you want to go for, they are just going with the snowball. It is rolling down the hill into an avalanche.
Ooh, the off bot up, shot sounded off, but Envy just fires from the sidelines. Shot into its Kelly S. Crystal makes it a bit of a trade, but they're still able to hold from the side of the site. And as soon as they show themselves, Envy, 2GE, Jesse, Vash, they all got a kill of their own.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it almost might be a blessing in disguise that they dropped all their weapons. Because, man, if I have to see another match where teams have to just save op after op after op, round after round after round, I'm going to lose my mind. But very unfortunate. And this is... you think,
you know, maybe a slight opportunity, you know, when you're looking against a Team Secret like this.
I mean, sure, yeah, the op helps, but we've just seen too much of that already in 2025, and we're only in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, a little bit yesterday as well with the op duels, but still, the round will continue, and Global Esports once again with the broken economy.
Team Secret. It's almost weird that they have so much more priority in mid. I mean, it's the Astro Omen on the other side, and yet Team Secret, they put the initiative down. They're drawing out these opponent smokes. They're drawing out the gunfire. And I think GE's just actually giving too much unintentional information over to the attacking side.
And a little bit spent. The Guardian shots firing out from mid. So a bit of presence are already alerted. And if you're Team Secret, you've been good so far, so why not go for the swing? At the very least, Crystal gets one, but still the trade comes through.
Do they suspect more here? Because there was a good fake going on here by Crystal. Yeah, they're waiting for another peek out because he was spamming the left side, but then he turns right to library under. And so you're expecting, okay, there's no way he's watching that alone with the Guardian when they're on an eco, the Hero Guardian. And it's going to get dropped again by Yudotan.
It's not working out. I don't know what you're going to do this time. The Guardian is lost as well. You cannot pick it up. Poppy, you know, feeling the heat now, tries to put the smokes up, tries to keep himself alive, but pretty much pinned down by 2G in this moment.
2G taking very aggressive positions all map long, and now the push out from the drone as well. They just want to trap him 100%.
Smokes out. Oh, and here comes the rest of the team too, Chobra. Oh my god.
I mean, they're just going to wait. They're just going to farm for kills, right? Reset all those ultimates right now. They got a fresh plate ready to go.
So good. And look at how close Jeremy is playing to the smoke as well. Oh, the flash is perfect. Oh, hell yes! Darren, a bit of a shot as well. Wildor all up the clutch, but then the trade comes through. What just happened?
I don't think a single person antied that flash. They had good crossfires going. I think 2G might have been behind the wall, but he was just not able to get the right angle. But the two members on the right side here near drop, I mean, they just get full flashed. And I mean, let's be very honest. This is a bit of a blunder from Secret. This basically gives GE a chance to get back into the game.
Chelsea, I mean, this chance is still just a chance so far. Team Secret in the lead, but then you gotta admire how this entire play comes through, right? I mean, even though Team Secret had the positions, just a one little flash, and that's all the difference it makes.
Well, something to cheer for the GE fans. Map ain't over yet. Still a little while to go for the first half, and the op returns for Yudotan. Cosmic Divide as well, and there it is. That's the type of aggressive play you want on the A side.
Oh, the chase! Continuing forward, that's the op gone, and now in with a dash as well. Poppy's dead in the dirt.
Already 3 members on the site. This isn't looking good for Crystal. You gotta wait for your teammates, but they have to still clear through mid. Darion gonna take his time to get back here.
Drones out. Kelias looking for at least a bit of a head. Continues to try to get his crosshair online, and he manages to do it. Triple kill now coming through. And all that's left is 2GE up by the bridge. He's trying to play around it, trying to go back for another flick, but Crystal shuts him down.
And that's the type of trading. That's the type of team play we've been wanting to see from the GE roster. Everyone talks about how talented those individuals are. Just work off of each other. Kelias taking all that aggro, gets 1 kill, continues to draw that fire, waiting for Crystal to go for another peak. A nice aggressive push out too, but I do gotta give credit to Jeremy. This is not an elimination game, Jeremy. He's gonna pop off, he's gonna get aggressive, he's gonna chase you down. But yeah, that fight from heaven, Crystal and Kelias, that's something worth roaring for.
All the difference. I mean, the guy, you know, also, he used to be a duelist, Kelias, now in the IGL role, still being able to pop off.
Null Command and Cosmic Divide ready for GE. Honestly, the ult cycling really might bring them back in the half. Team Secret has to be careful about how they calculate the rest of the round. Their creds are fine, but they need 1 or 2 more rounds to get to another ult round themselves.
Okay, but still back in towards mid, and that's Wild Oreo gone. The quick execute in towards the B site. But everything's been smoked off. Global looking for their timing.
But you have to suspect this. He hasn't taken this position before. Jeremy very close up near heaven.
Another flash out, but the smokes dissipate. He spots the shock dart sending through as well, so continues to go for the chase. That's a second kill. Now the rest of Global trying to play the retake. All 3, but they don't quite have the space on heaven any longer. Darren just peeks out from stairs, spots a couple. That's Jesse Vesh down. Cosmic Divide goes up, and now they're trying to use that to get onto the spike, but still, 2G tries to play ahead of it. Look at the movement from Udotan, though. Quickly swaps over to Classic. 2GE tries to stay alive. He needs to clutch this out. He's looking for it, goes back for another kill. Now on towards Poppy. Poppy running out of time, smokes it up, swings for the kill, and goes for the stick. Not enough time? Surely not.
All the way down! Oh my gosh, I mean, Poppy played that as best as he could, but 2GE, he just knew. He just needed to survive 1/2 second longer. Successful clutch out from 2GE. Let's talk about his movement and his positioning all throughout this first half so far. He's taking aggressive off angles, he's buying time, he's jiggling. Darion looked like he might be coming back into the spotlight in this round, and he did a lot for them. Cosmic Divide good as well. The draw out with Yudotan up in the sky. Everything looks good, but 2GE just hides away for 1 second too long.
We talk about high IQ, right? Playing around the Cosmic Divide that way just to give him, you know, a bit more space, a bit more time. Still, though, map continues, and we're down to the 11th round. Global looking for that information outside of A. So crucial so far. A bit more presence towards mid again.
I mean, look at this position from Team Secret. They kind of know that GE hasn't pushed out of A main at all, so they continue to wait, but very far back. They're not fishing for any information on main. They like to think that if you do eventually push out of A main, they can actually just turn around and fight from mid, because they've still got 3 members there. And once again, GE just backs off. They're not going to hold it close. You are watching outside of it with Poppy, so at least this time, I think you can rotate a bit safer than before. Poppy's going to be able to delay 1 more turn with that paranoia, and so you just have to trust in that.
Yeah, at the very least, not spotting anything out towards A, but now B's getting smoked off. Udotan still being able to maintain control of mid. That gives them the numbers on the B site.
Execute coming in. Darion's ready for it. He has a good angle right outside the smoke, but he can't find the shot.
Oh, and that's just Team Secret continuing to barrel through. The Hunter's Tree will slow them down just a bit. Poppy instantly rotating over with the From the Shadows, but is that going to be enough? They don't quite have the numbers. Wild Oreo still playing safe from post-plant position.
Oh, you would have loved to go during that plant, but it's going to be on the outside of danger, safe from all gunfire. And now a 2v3 with positions already taken by Team Secret.
Smoke's refreshed too. 2G continuing to be a menace. Look at this.
And they have no reason. Oh, right on the railing. So he doesn't get spotted though. They don't know for sure. He's on the railing. And Oreo, Wild Oreo, just gonna buy time. He actually gets the kill as well against Crystal.
That should be enough, but it is Papi Chulo. Only able to get the one, but still running out of time. Makes the call for a save.
Yeah, not much you can do. You got to feel for Poppy's position right now in the half because he just hasn't really been given a chance to play the game at all. And 2GE fragging out in the first half. Everyone talked about Wild Oreo last year when the two members joined, and 2GE, he was fine. Maybe had a bit of a quieter start, but he's right in here reminding everyone why he was a great pickup. 12, 6, and 5, 2.0 KD as the controller.
Always lovely to see. I mean, him in the spotlight, just being able to do a little bit more, especially in some of these clutch moments. Definitely showing off some of those critical decision-making skills that he has.
And now all outs online here for Team Secret as well. Not a place you want to be for global esports. Not a great buy either, but you'll have to make it work.
Well, at least Udotan in with the blade storm, but he hasn't been able to show off those blades that much. Team Secret looking to make this a quick map now. Now is when they go in for that quick stack up against B. Starting things off, it's going to be Jeremy. Straight into the site, and everything's being smoked off by Darren. Ponder's Fury from Jesse Vash, though, just creating a bit more chaos towards the back lines. And Kelly S tries to get ahead of things. Still sticking around the stairs, backs up in towards the smoke. He just waits for his team to get on over.
Oh no, and now you don't have the Blade Storm anymore. You're gonna see that null command come out. Udotan, not much you can do right now. You just have to wait this out. That's so much time on the retake.
Man, 4 on 5 as well. They've got to think about possibly smoking off Ness once again as well, but Jeremy continues to hold the angle. Udotan goes aggressive, has the blades, gets a kill, now tries to stay alive against that duel in towards Jeremy. Jeremy in with a blaze though, swings out from the other side. Support from Jesse Vash arrives on time. Jeremy back up to the Vandal for the final kill, and Team Secret ends off the first half 9-3.
I'm just gonna say exactly what I said at the beginning of last year as well. If you can see this Jeremy throughout this year, Team Secret, they're going back to the international stage. This is the peak Jeremy. This is what he's capable of. It's always been the consistency, but right now he's in full confidence mode.
Absolutely right. I mean, the last time they played this back in Stage 2 from last year, they played it against Talon. They lost 11-13, and that's the one where, Primi just came in. Primi was top fragging as a Jet as well. Jeremy, on the other hand, kind of bottom frag, but here today, this looks so much better.
9-3 half for Team Secret. Again, like you mentioned, Quack, earlier, it is their pick, but you gotta wonder if GE, if all the cogs just aren't quite clicking just yet. They didn't have as many opportunities in the offseason compared to some of these other teams. I mean, sure, Team Secret, they really didn't show us anything in the offseason. They've kept it under wraps. But GE, completely new roster. You wanted the reps, and they tried their best to do it. They made sure that they could scrap together, their own face-off event. I loved that they did that. Give the players a chance to work together. Give the fans a chance to take a look. And then the Spotlight Series, gain that confidence, playing against some of the other Tier 1 and Game Changers players individually, and know that you belong here in VCT Pacific. But now on the big stage, this is the real test, and who better to test them than the eternal gatekeepers of Pacific?
That's just how things roll sometimes. You start things off. You had a pretty decent offseason, feeling the confidence from the Spotlight Series and everything forward from that. But down into the match against the Gatekeepers, there's just so much left to show. I mean, maybe at the very least you can take some of that pressure off, just considering the fact that you are, playing against the old guard of the Philippines, right?
Yeah, so that too, yeah.
Yeah, let's just take things easy. Maybe we didn't have the best first half, but let's see how the second half goes.
Yeah, let's go. Next time.
You do have to worry about that.
Very
curious about the positions of Wild Oreo, especially since there's that KO on the other side. But Envy just gonna play the bait. Gets one kill, gets two. That's a shutdown already in the pistol.
He already had the hottest 1-on-3 pistol clutch from before. Why not start things off just as spicy as well? Low HP though, and he backs off. Meanwhile, Global looking for, an opportunity into the other sites. 2G's around the corner though.
Yeah, but Secret, they're just not going to peek out, right? They say plant if you want. It's a 5v3. We are not concerned at all about fighting on the retake. And here's the thing, they know GE has to push up. They know GE needs to get more information, and 2G just shuts down Crystal once again.
The way the smoke was placed as well, I mean, there's just no opportunity. It's just unfortunate. Crystal, you know, wanting to go for that, right? Be proactive on the duel, but 2GE, even with the Classic, just knows what he has to do. Just plays right around the edge of it, just enough that he can spot out his opponent. Now here's the tap. Doesn't have to do too much. Global, they're trying to draw out his fire, but nothing found.
Yeah, they needed another kill, but now you don't have an option. You might as well get the plant credits and hope for the best.
Hope for the best. I don't think there's much gonna happen. Poppy still able to land one shot, but then comes Jeremy.
Jeremy is just in their face today. He is not saving that dash at all. He is just moving forward, W King, as much as he can, breaking ankles, taking shots, and it's working out.
I think that's one of the things that you want to see as well. You know, one of the criticisms from before is, you know, sometimes he's a little shy. He's waiting for the go signal from, you know, maybe Jesse Vash. But now, dashing straight in, throwing caution to the wind. This is confidence.
You love to see it, especially because now it's more than just frags, it's more than just teamwork, but it is about creating space with that aggression when you're playing that duelist, when you're playing that entry, really seeing that evolution starting from last year.
The Outlaw once again as well.
Or Spy, all stingers. And you've just heard it. So that's going to be a key for Team Secret to potentially back off. You don't want to get caught in the sight.
Yeah. I mean, you're down 10-3. Might as well try to go for it. You know, it's a little bit risky, but you're down on rounds anyway. They managed to get a lot of space on the site.
But you have to expect that GE is potentially looking to push out because that's the only way they feel safe with the stingers. And they're ready for it.
Team Secret all continuing to hold down their ground. Managing to gun them down. I mean, even swapping over with that Outlaw. Jeremy in with a Bulldog now. Crystal continuing to try to take space. Goes back up into heaven, takes down Envy.
But it's not planted for him because they wanted to push out. Team Secret just has the absolute read that that's the only way you have a win condition. 2 people alive and they can't even see the spike. Jesse Vash getting one more kill to boot.
So even trying to fight for numbers doesn't quite work out. Team Secret being so cognizant of the current situation, sticking the spike. They might have lost some guns towards the end, but still a round win nonetheless. And now, I mean, economy for global esports definitely down in the dumps.
They must have not heard it amidst the chaos, right? The movement from Darian and Crystal making it seem like they maybe had more time. But they doubled down. You already kind of nailed the coffin. Might as well go for it again, because otherwise it's not looking good.
Really? The judge knows! Oh my god, 2GE! They walk straight into him.
I mean, it's either stingers or it's pistols, right? So the judge is absolutely a good play here. I mean, here's the question is, I mean, what's your buy next round, right? I mean, yeah, you've got the lost credit, so some of you, the half armor in, yeah, I get that, but listen, I don't blame them, but it is a absolutely ballsy move to double down.
It is. Not ready. But even then, I mean, just the right call from Team Secret. And it's one of those games, it's starting to feel like you just want to, like, FF. You try to go for the play, but now, even peeking out with a snare, you get shut down by the Outlaw. You know that Judge is still on the other side, and you cannot challenge it. He tries to swing, Darren at least gets one, but then the Bulldog comes through.
I mean, yeah, you could just feel the fear, right? A Judge around the corner, what do we do? I don't know, like, they're all just talking to each other. There's no answer. There is just literally no answer. There's nothing you could have done there. So now you go for the half and regen armor. Everyone else still able to buy that full armor, so that's good. But now you just don't have any more chances. Meanwhile, Team Secret, they'll be sitting on 9 chances to close us out.
That's the whole thing. Team Secret viewing party as well. Definitely loving the support, as always. Shoutouts to Taylor and Bill. But at the same time, I mean, to be completely fair, Global, they haven't really shown off any Abyss too much in the offseason, but Team Secret really just stretching their legs out right now. Look at Jeremy!
He gets 2 there? Sure, he was going to get the kill onto Yudotan because he was pinged. He knew that trade was coming. But then the second kill.
What else is Jeremy going to do? Continuing to hold mid, a little bit of support from Jesse Vash.
I mean, now Secret, you really just need to hold safe default. Once again, another 5v2. You have the numbers advantage. No reason to rush, and this is where they shine.
Come on, make it a flawless finish. Give us the flawless.
We've seen that a couple times already. It's
Okay.
getting there.
Spike down mid.
Darion, yeah, he's played against him last year.
Did have that ace against Gen G, but now this is a completely different situation.
Oh, he's
back
surrounded.
turn. He's completely surrounded. He hears everything coming up against him. It's Envy to finish things off. 13-3. Team Secret takes the clean win against Global Esports.
This is a bit of a soul-crushing debut onto the stage, just given how much hype there was behind these players. Obviously, still too early to gauge the exact potential of the roster of Global Esports, but when we talk about performing when it matters, right, in the official scrims, off-season, all of that now out the window, just this one double elim bracket standing between you and Masters Bangkok. And GE, they weren't able to show us what they were made of today. Not yet.
I was on the Global Esports hype train, you know, just like seeing so many cool players bunched up on this team. And it seems like a good idea as well. I mean, you mentioned the coaching staff as well, you know, Juvenile alongside Elevated, but now coming into the match against such an experienced team, you know, they also picked a really good map against them.
Sure.
So, just, you would have at least expected maybe 13-6, 13-7, but 13-3,
Yeah, that's a rough one. And honestly, I have to start wondering if maybe that pick was also just knowing that Darion is stepping in right in the beginning part of the year, just knowing that maybe the comps aren't going to be as solid. Secret, maybe just thinking also this is one of those maps where the standard composition works, that Ascent composition, they love to play that. But whatever it is, Secret, they made the right call for map 1, but of course that means there is another map remaining in between in this best of 3 that is going to come out from the GE side.
I think that's, you know, still fair. At the same time, you know, one thing that we can say for sure is that the next map coming up, that's one that Global Esports has experienced or practiced a little bit more. They showed off that a little bit more during the off-season.
Yeah, they have played it a couple times, but you think back to some of the crazier highlights that Team Secret has had, it's oftentimes been on Split.
True, that's
Tondo
so true
Gaming
as well.
comes out on this map. I don't know if you take them there, but it has been a while. GE fans, what I've heard is there's more than 1,000 people gathered there for this one.
1,000?
Yeah, waiting for the season to pop off, and unfortunately, that's not the start they wanted, but it's not over just yet. Hopefully they will be able to send their energy down here to Seoul, because right now the GE players, they need it.
Energy definitely needed. But still, I mean, yeah, you know, at the very least, one thing we can say for sure is that you can cut yourself a little bit of slack. You're going up against, you know, the veterans, the gatekeepers. So losing on a map that was their map pick, it's all right. If you can take that split against them, then that would be cool.
Well, an absolutely tough map 1 for GE, but they have a chance to bring it back in the next map. We're going to take a quick break here from the casting desk, but we'll have the analysts continue to break down all the action.
You are now watching VCT Pacific 2000.
Do have to agree with that. You know what? You know, let's calm down a bit. Calm down a bit. I mean, this is, again, a team that is very, very experienced, and you have Global Esports, as the casters mentioned, doing that, you know, it's a clean slate. There's still some issues that have to come in. Darion is coming in as a sub as well. So this is, you know, this isn't exactly the plan that GE had for this first match in Pacific.
No, definitely not. And I think, look, it's just very easy to pick apart what Global was doing there. Like, it felt like everything was going wrong for them. I didn't really feel like they were playing the comp particularly well, whether it was on the macro perspective of getting the map control or defending the sites particularly well. I didn't really feel like they utilized the strong players that they had. Like Yutatan, you see it there, the first kills are pretty close. I felt like Yutatan was able to get out there and actually get a couple of opening kills, but then they didn't really convert some of those rounds, or they didn't take really full advantage of their personnel, and it felt like Team Secret was just a better team with better individuals, better preparation on the map, and they just rolled them over.
Yeah, it seemed a lot like nerves to me. I've seen this time and time again. It's happened to me myself, where that first big game on the stage, where it's a really, you know, it's an important game, when players get nervous, they don't want to make mistakes, so they often tend to move further back than instead of go further forward, and that's something I really would have liked to see more of from Global's defense. I wanted them to get in Secret's face a little bit more. They only really did that on their ecos, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's not how they practiced this map at all, and they've just kind of crumbled a little bit under that little bit of pressure.
Yeah, it certainly did look that way, especially since, again, there was lots of hype around this roster, around these players, and you know, it is their tier 1 debut, so it's bound to be a little bit shaky, right? They're still working through a lot of communication issues as well. Yeah, so there are a lot of factors that are working against global esports at this time. And meanwhile, again, as you mentioned earlier, Team Secret just pretty much pick up where they left off, maybe after a little bit of a break, so they look even better. And here, you can really see the hive mind of Secret come through as well.
Yeah, one common theme we saw throughout this game is slam B, retake B. And there's a big reason for that is how this map is designed. It's incredibly hard to hold, it's incredibly hard to find consistent spots to anchor from that aren't just off angles. So as a defender, you don't have a lot of choice, you kind of have to give it up. But we saw Global's retake not really manage to come together.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm going to say, like, you're playing the double controller. The whole purpose of, or a big purpose of playing this comp is creating pockets with smokes, creating little gimmicky angles that you could take advantage of to be able to defend these executes. And that's just not something I saw enough of from Global.
Yeah, one thing I really want to highlight here is look at the minimap. Look at this discipline from Team Secret. Now, this is exactly what we as coaches try to get the players to do. 5v3, everybody freezes, everybody stands still. This speaks to the large amount of experience on this roster. Nobody's getting nervous, nobody's trying to do too much. They know their plan, they stick to it.
It's kind of like that you're saving your energy for just the right moment, because you know that, sustaining that kind of energy does take, a lot out of the players, right? Especially when you have like, a whole series to go through. They are just doing it in bursts at just the right moment when they have to.
Yeah, well, speaking about bursts of energy, I really hope Global can find one heading into this map too. It is their map pick of Split, so I expect to see a little bit more oomph from them this time.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, this is data from the off-season, but if you look at Secret's games from Split 2, you'd be feeling pretty confident about them on Split. GE, this is a pretty unique comp, but it's worth mentioning that, they've got the Neon in there, which necessitates the Sova. The Sova, a bit of a comfort pick for Crystal. You've seen him on it time and time again, but that was Patrick playing the Neon previously. So I'm kind of wondering if they're even going to play the same comp here and back themselves, because that might force Yutatan onto something like a Neon.
Yeah, I would definitely expect a change here. Obviously, Sova on Split is not super common because his utility cannot get the same level of value as it can on those bigger maps. His drone, like, a big advantage of it compared to the Skydog or even Teo's drone now is that it can see the full distance, but on Split the map's so small you don't need it, and it's so slow to get up mid. There's so many corners to hide in from the recon. It's very hard to get the maximum value of this agent out on this map.
We saw already a team that agrees with you yesterday. Nongshim plays KO when they play Neon on this map. They don't want the Sova. That's their solution to being able to break the trips and disable the Cypher. So stylistic difference, but we'll see if the same comps even played, honestly, here from Global.
Maybe, but like even for Team Secret, right? That Sova is such a comfort pick for Jesse Vash, and even
by the way, he's got almost 200 games of Sova or something, and like less than 40 on anything else.
Yeah, so it's like you're talking about comfort, and Team Secret, they've got to be feeling pretty comfortable right now. Jesse Vash, I can totally see it. Like, you know what? Let's just run the Sova. It's okay. I don't want to stress myself out too much.
That would be BM running it against.
If we get Sova versus Sova on Split, I'm gonna lose my mind.
It's still different, man.
But what if it's like, because I can put my best foot forward as Sova, right? Jesse Vash is Sova.
With how confident they looked in map 1, I would back them to pull it off in map 2.
Hey, we did have this, back in the local broadcast for the Philippines, we did have this Jesse Vash guarantee, which is that every single time he has the Hunter's Fury, he gets a kill.
Yeah.
That was a Jesse Vash guarantee. But you know what? Again, this is a GE. They do have some players that do have, this knowledge of Jesse Vash. I did feel that it worked the other way, though. Their confidence was a little shaken, maybe because they knew exactly who was on the other side, right? Maybe if it was up against, some of the newer players on other rosters, they would be like, yeah, sure. I'll show them what I've got. But here it's like, oh, no, you know exactly who I am.
Yeah, I think so, but at the same time, if I'm a team like Global, I would look at that draw and I would say that's a more winnable game for me. At least I'm not playing Gen G or I'm not playing DRX or one of these teams. I think if you draw RRQ or the same thing here for Secret, it's a known entity and it's a team that's very consistent in the middle of the table, but you're not necessarily scared of them, right? You view them as being beatable, but at the same time, they've just got so much chemistry built up over time that, that's the difference, really.
Yeah, like knowing and understanding who you're playing against is often a good thing, We'll have seen it in the prep for this game, because as you mentioned before, a lot of these players have played against each other for a long time, played with each other at times before. So understanding who they are on a personal level really helps you anti-strat a little bit deeper. One side of anti-stratting is, the macro strategy. The other side of it is, what does this specific player like to do? When he's anchoring B, where does he like to stand?
Yeah.
Does he like to retake? Does he use his drone too early? You know, all those little specific things, when you have more information, it seems like you can bring it in. So I don't think Global will have been unhappy about that, but it seems like Secret have definitely taken advantage of that in a much more deep way.
And going back into the second map, right? My eyes are on Kelly's right now for Global Esports because he has taken on that IGL role. We did see him giving some energy to the rest of the team, right? You know, and in certain round wins. But, you know, I have been a fan of Kelly's for a while because he's just such a flexible player. He is that player that, like, tell me what you need, I will do it. Now, though, being IGL for Global Esports, that is, you know, it's a test for him because he has to, you know, be in charge of all of these different players with different styles. It's not coming into fruition just yet on your first match, but how does he, you know, wipe that slate clean and get them ready for split?
Yeah, one thing that I will say is, after a game like this, resetting is honestly easier. A close game, you lose in overtime, you lose 13-11, because you more have it in your head of, oh, we could have had that map, we could have had it, so that kind of lingers in your mind. If you get blown out like this, like 33, you go, okay, that wasn't us, let's move on. So I often find rebounding after these heavy losses is a lot easier.
Look at that, there you go, Deadlock, Cypher with an Astra. That is a very slow comp on attack, my friends. Yutatan over onto the Raze, and Team Secret with a change-up since last year as well, bringing in the Deadlock. This is going to be a lot of creeping around the map. Where's the Deadlock trips? Where's the Cypher trips? Oh, there's a star on the ground. Better not go into the site.
I think Deadlock Cypher is a lot of fun. One thing we also saw from GE in the off-season is they ran the Deadlock Cypher comp on Ascent. Ascent is a very structured map, obviously, which kind of has this one solution, and they went different, and this Deadlock Cypher really worked well for them and really suited them. So I want to see how they bring that into Split.
Well, I guess you're happy. No Sylphas inside here on Split, but we'll see what happens in map number 2. Over to our casters.
Thank you very much, Mika, and our analysts over at the desk. Yeah, we've got a bit of an almost mirror matchup, the Fade and the Sky being the big difference here.
So let's go, man.
Yeah, a little bit different.
चलो अभी उठाया लोग अभी उठाया तो दो क्यों उठा दिया अभी ये लोग को दो का क्या चिंता है भाई हम समझ में नहीं आ रहा है फिर अभी दो
a little bit towards mid, a little bit towards A as well. At least starting things off with the Team Secret side with a 3-stack on A site.
चलो देखते हैं क्या
Might be ready to push out if they get any information as well. An early Cyber Cage comes out for GE. I love that from Darion. Really blocks off any potential aggression so that everyone has to vie for space once again over on A main.
Also baits out a little bit as well. So the star does come up towards the outside of ramps, but Global, they do have quite a bit of space towards mid, so trying to explore that option a little bit.
Oh, now you know it's more than one.
Oh my god. Well, starting to push out now, but still hearing the footsteps in the water, so instantly backing off away from it.
But this is the trouble, right? You can't just fast rotate. You can't just say go B because there's a wall right waiting for you. There's a barrier. And then there's going to be the grab net. There's extra trips. You're stuck right now in heaven.
Ooh. Oh my. A little bit of a dink as well from Envy. I mean, at the very least, trying to break that wall, trying to go faster, but because that barrier mesh was there, it bought so much time for the rotations to come over, and Wild Oreo is ready to let it rip. 2 kills back to back. Kelly S tries to fire back. Now it's down onto Envy, and he's continuing to hold from Pillar so darn well. Has the additional support from Heaven too. It's all down to Poppy, and it's a 1-on-2, a bit of a high-low setup. So tough to fight against, but he's still jiggling, still getting Envy down to low HP, looking for the next shot. 20 seconds left to go, and he manages to get the first kill. Goes for the next one, and gets the headshot. Poppy Chulo makes it a clutch.
That's my Poppy. People were down in an aftermap when he didn't even get a chance to fight over there on Abyss. But there's that clutch. I mean, we had the clutch over on Abyss right there in the first round from Envy, and this looked like it was going to go Team Secret's way. But they were able to break through just fast enough. I love the pop flash from Wild Oreo. I think that is going to be the big difference maker, is that Team Secret are going to be a bit more willing to fight on a dime because they have that flash. There it is.
Puppy!
That's the energy.
Oh my god, that is what you need to shake things off from the first map, and he starts things off just as well.
Triple regen armor as well, so really leaning heavy into that new equipment that came out at the end of last year.
I'll find you.
Going back to a bit of info gathering outside of A. Hiding inside the Cyber Cage though, Jesse Vash.
Yeah, I like it. He pre-positioned himself. Now he will just wait. It's going to be a little bit far in terms of distance. Yeah, can't get the kill.
Still down to 50 HP at least, but now back in towards mid. Udotan tries to hold. Kalias was downed. It's down to the Guardians and the Sheriffs. Team Secret keeps things competitive, getting a couple kills in there.
Oh, and I love the fact that they just decide to go fight the member that they know for sure. Instead of trying to clear every other corner, just push him off. Now you know you're at least safe from one side, and they'll continue to chase him down. If there's two, you still have the numbers advantage, making sure you're not giving away any free weapons.
Yeah, keeping things tight and close. So nothing lost for Global Esports in this round, save for Kelly S. It's down to Jeremy, and he's got just the shorty, so...
yeah, no blast packs either.
Yeah. Paint shells maybe, but...
Well, maybe some damage, but the region armor going to find the value there if that happens. So, Jeremy, the best you can hope for is, yeah, just an exit frag and maybe just going to the spike, because quite frankly, it's not even a classic. You can't go for those peaks into the site.
And taking a look at Global Esports guns as well, I mean, this is a really good second round coming in for them. Third round will be just as good. I mean, look at all those rifles.
Yeah, if they actually hadn't bought this much, I would love to see Crystal go out on the hunt. But with 4 rifles, you definitely go for the safe save here. Yeah, he's the one still peeking, just seeing if he's got a chance. If you can get that Nightfall maybe right into round 3, that'd be great. But he's not going to go on the chase. That's too much value that would be lost. Jeremy, he just hears the footsteps, tries to creep in, see if he can catch anybody. Just one more look here.
Grenade!
Whee! Yeah, not going to catch anybody.
Dies to the spike. So, managed to hold on to those alt points. But like I mentioned, yes, for Global Esports, keeping those guns very crucial. Swapping some over, so leaving Darian down to just the upgraded pistol.
Oh, great timing there from Poppy. And Crystal just being aware, sticking to that far wall. Again, I don't think the individual potential of these players should ever be doubted. Just from what we've seen from all of them in their previous careers, but can it come together as a team? That's where it broke down on Abyss.
Definitely looking a lot better here now, but we'll see if they can convert this into the bonus. It has been a lot of heavy A movement so far. Once again, it's the same cages. Team Secret already trying to adjust around it. 2 players down from ramps. Jeremy alongside Wild Oreo. The sprays, they managed to take down Crystal. And that's a spike down as well. Jeremy onto the second kill. Jesse Vash continuing to hold it from the other side of the smoke. Guns down the Boombot for now. Cage trigger 2.
Trailblazer spotted them as well, so Jeremy's ready for it, and that is a twofer from Jeremy and Wild Oreo together. Great crossfire. And if this is a flawless, suddenly things flip on its head. Jesse Vashi said he'd flip everyone's predictions. They're already on track to do that, but they're about to flip this map as well with an excellent buy round in round 3.
Yeah, even with the guns, just the adjustments, just Jeremy alongside Wild Oreo from ramp, taking everything down. Jesse Vash
बहुत अच्छा raid कर रहा है क्योंकि ये लोग बहुत default खेल रहा है.
Global Esports couldn't continue pushing into the site, and that's where they went into the Trailblazer. So the further kills collected on towards them. Team Secret continuing to show us what they're made of.
Yeah, I don't mind this A attempt over from GE, right? Try to get some more information on the site, try to go fast, try to have that tempo change, but alas, they get stuck in that bottleneck, and they weren't even able to get that much information on the setup. Meanwhile, Team Secret, they deny the Nightfall from coming online even in round 4, while making sure Wild Oreo has his Seekers online. So even in the ult economy, now you're feeling okay, and Jeremy continues to fire on all cylinders.
I mean, Global, they tried to adjust around it. They had the haunt there, but Team Secret just evades it completely.
Jeremy's 2 away from the showstopper. Crystal and Kelly, yeah, sure, you're close to your ults as well, but Team Secret's going to be able to counter right back with their own ults.
Oh boy. And in towards mid, trying to explore the other options. Once again, you're faced against the barrier mash that Envy is waiting to let go. There it is.
Just buying time, and if you don't break that, that's another full 30 seconds that Team Secret can just run around without any fear.
Okay, well, they're at least trying to go through ropes, go through vents. You got a little bit of support from Crystal as well in the Prowler. Doesn't spot anything out nearby, so maybe using that angle from heaven to try to get a kill, but Jesse Vash is so ready! Instant headshot, puts up the camera, and more support coming from Jeremy up around screens.
Yeah, now you're stuck up here in heaven. They know that Kelly S is up here. They know the others are coming up ramp as well. Team Secret, they've got him absolutely trapped up here by the window.
Seekers too. So great read so far. Nightfall comes through, but they try to bulldoze with the Nightfall. It doesn't work out. Crystal only getting 2 kills, but now surrounded. Wild Oreo will put his heads up in the air, take those guns away, and and Team Secret walks away with another win.
ये तो ये हो गया कि सिंगापुर
I
का
love that
इमोर्टल खेल रहा है
G is
जैसे
very gung-ho. I love that they're very proactive, but once again, you have to wonder, in the grand scheme of things, the value off the Nightfall, unless you are able to catch everybody, unless you're able to just save the round right there and then, get the plant and ready to go, maybe only losing one more member. If you think about it, you were already falling behind in the ult economy. You gotta use those to catch back up, and now you've already just spent one for free.
Yeah. Fortunately,
ये तो अभी वही ऐसे चल रहा है मतलब एक इमोर्टल गेम चल रहा है
so ready again. They have those reads. They're adjusting on the fly to some of these early A plays, and there it is again. Jeremy, headshot to start things off. And he's still in position to try to let rip that showstopper if there is a rush out into the site.
Listen, I just have one wish for Team Secret in 2025. If they make it to playoffs,
champ.
And before that, no, if they get to playoffs, somebody just wake Jeremy up in the morning and remind him that it's January 2025. Because if he plays like this, I mean, he's a superstar.
Just let the alarm ring, you know,
yeah,
like
change
shake
all
him in
dates.
bed.
Yeah,
like
change his
give
phone.
him a slap.
Yeah, change all your calendars.
It's
in the team
January.
House. Yeah, there you go. He's playing out of his mind. Oh,
just as you say that, though,
the curse is still strong. That doesn't change.
All right. A little bit exposed. I mean, he's still trying to play around that position for the ult, but unfortunately, Global gets a read on that as well. Still continuing to push on through, though. A little bit exposed out from heaven. It's going to be Envy! 3 kills back-to-back. Sprays them all down.
No matter what the score looks like, every member, every highlight we're seeing from Team Secret, they're all so calm. You can just feel this in their movement, the way they're aiming, that they don't think that they're gonna lose these rounds. They don't think they're gonna lose these fights. They're not panicking. They're just taking one fight at a time, isolating those 1v1s. All of them. When all 5 of them play like this is prime Team Secret.
Comfortable, confident. They have the utility that trips the cyber cage up towards ramps just to block things off and continuing to hold down their efforts towards A heaven. Next round, and there needs to be an adjustment from Global Esports. So it's been A so far, down into mid, but that's where the showstopper lets rip!
Oh, this was such a great play from Team Secret. So what happens is you rip the showstopper. So you think it's pushing out somewhere, but then a barrier mesh comes out in mid. So surely the Rocket's not coming out of mid because they've already blocked themselves in. And then he just peeks out and gets a double kill. GE just absolutely baited.
Who does that?
If that was intentional, which I would like to believe it is, that is ridiculous. And that's a play that comes out when you know that you're going to be able to snowball this map once again.
I mean, if it wasn't intentional, it's just so amazing as well. But now spotting them out towards mail room, Jeremy waiting for his opportunity. Envy in with the ultimate as well. Now the sprays, everything crumbling and falling apart. And just collapsed onto it.
Yeah, that's not quite the moment Yudotan was hoping to have on the big stage coming into this year. It's caught by that ultimate. But look at this, Team Secret. They're on the defense here on Split. You have a bit of a mirror matchup, and you just say we're going to pull something. Yeah, this was intentional, and they don't expect it at all. The high-low setup, prime for the showstopper. What a play. You got to watch out for that in the future if you're playing Secret on Split.
Wall plus showstopper. What a play. Well, on to the next round now, and Global Esports are running out of money. A couple ultimates online, you know, probably not looking for too much in the current round, so holding things very far back for now.
And now you're just holding far back. You've got long sidelines on ramp. The only thing you're really worried about is mid, but even here, Team Secret, they probably won't stick around forever for a fight. They're not going to greed for it because you still got a trip in vents. You still have 2 people in heaven. You can continue to just make sure that they're not able to snowball through. So Jeremy's just making sure that you don't suddenly see a flood into mail. Like this, he's gonna come out. Oh, gets taken out.
Doesn't work out. Yeah, trying to play around that middle area, but now being pinched out from all sides. Just a couple of share shots, and now the rifles have been picked up straight into sight. Global Esports will stream. All that's left is Jesse Vash. Has the angle from heaven. Goes on for the first kill. The second one collects as well. Spike down. Crystal tries to retrieve, and Jesse Vash...
They don't know about it. They don't know about the drop.
Listening for their footsteps. Nightfall comes out, though, and he's down low HP. Tries to swing around the sides, and footsteps completely being heard. Crystal lands the kill.
They needed this round win, so I'm all for that Nightfall, right? They weren't positive about the drop, so he just uses it to keep him at bay right as Darion comes back around. Sure, Darion spotted him, but a round win is a win. You needed that, and this was some good sightlines from all three members with the Sheriffs in mid. Was afraid of Jeremy going out for the trade, but Crystal was ready for it.
Smoke coming up towards top mid as well. Just additional support. So a little bit unfortunate for Team Secret, even with the read trying to play around it, just kind of getting gunned down by the Sheriffs. Not something that they expected. But the next round comes up now, and once again, we have buys from Global Esports, and you go back to that early default up around A. But this time, more presence towards B as well. Just a grab while it's Poppy to swing. Takes down the controller of Team Secret.
Yeah, individually, GE is starting to heat up. They're starting to warm up to the stage, so Team Secret's going to have to give them just a bit more respect. But now the operator, do they expect it? They kind of do. Go for the wide swing. Ooh. Safe for now.
The op shot fired off as well. Jeremy continues to try and hold up towards mid. But here comes the annihilation. Although the grab net fully collects. Just so unfortunate for Envy. So Wilder instantly tries to come back to relay forward, has to spray, lands a couple, but still down onto Crystal. He manages to trade, picks up the spike and tries to deliver it onto the B site. Additional support up from Evan, managing to find those further trades, and now just watching for the angles. No hope found for Jesse Bash as Global Esports ties up the score.
4-4. One chance given, and Global Esports, they snatch it up, trying to tie it up, but they're going to want a bit more being on this attacking side. I would like to wager that just because of that base difference, they're going to feel a bit better on the defense. But obviously, if you can do it, you want to just get ahead. If you can get ahead on that attacking side on split, you're going to feel very good.
Starting to feel a little bit, but still. Just minor adjustments from Global Esports now, trying to put more presence around other parts of the map, forcing Team Secret to then play a little bit more differently, right? They were trying to play around the A presence a lot more, but this time having to respect that B. So Stars placed up, trying to give themselves garage control.
Yeah, now you go back to trying to fish for information on A from Global Esports. If you see movement, then you go back to B. But if you don't see anything, eventually I expect the spike to land over by the A site.
So it comes down to what Jesse Vash sees with that camera of his. But for now, not really spotting anything too much either. I mean, Global Esports keeping their movements very hidden.
Yeah, I don't mind it from Secret, right? I don't know if they necessarily have the read that it might come A side, but they just say if it comes A, we go for the retake. But we've been having trouble on the B side. Let's make sure that we have that on lockdown. We've got the operator, we've got delay in mid, we've got information in mid. And so as long as we keep Heaven, retake is possible. Now, GE, if you go in and you don't see any fights, do you consider pushing out into screens?
Thinking about it, they do have the showstopper.
Do you clear the smoke with it? Surely you do. He's just taking his time.
Team Secret fully respecting it as well, so full-on 5v5 retake coming through.
Alright, Secret very fast at re-clearing screens just in case he came through, so that's the trip already broken. Berry Mesh comes out against the retake.
Pulling out from Ramses at the same time, though.
Oh, the bait.
Just to continue to block off even more. Now, continuing to invest the ultimate through, just to block Team Secret off that much. Looking for that lead, very much so. And Udotan lands a sick flick into midair with a jump. Jeremy, good little off shot, goes in for a second peek, but Udotan shuts him down. Now in for the trades, Wild Oreo, only just the one as Darren and Crystal managed to get that lead for Global Esports.
All of the members one by one having their moments. Udotan now with that 3K, showing why he was picked up by this team the coach has talked about. This is a player we need to have. Even if it means we have two duelists, we got to put them on a different role because this guy is about to shine on the big stage. Looking calm, getting that duel against Jeremy as well, which by the way, I mean, very, very bold move from Jeremy with that operator in that corner and shoulder. The GE fans slowly getting hope that we might be able to go to another map 3 here today in Pacific.
Surely looking likely. Those two ultimates giving them that lead and breaking Team Secret's economy as well. Now into which a Bucky, Sheriffs, one Hero Vandal, and Wild Oreo. That definitely causes a bit of a ripple effect to how Team Secret tries to hold down the sites. Playing much more further back now, save for Jeremy, who's right around the corner with that Bucky.
Yeah, he hit that Bucky, I believe, took it out with his pistol, so you're not still certain, but you did see that he was holding pretty close. And meanwhile, just waiting for the push out. I like this because you're showing information on A, and you imagine if it's a stack, maybe they push out, try to put us in a chokehold. So GE, you're waiting, but what is the timing? When do you decide to move? Already down below the minute mark, you got to start to group up. Otherwise, if an accident happens, that's the round gone.
And that's what it is. Onus onto GE, and Udotan takes the first bait. He falls! Wild Oreo in for the second kill, but Darren saves the day with the Outlaw. Now Haunt out just for additional security. But then they called for the play in towards ropes. Jeremy tries to get ahead of them with the satchel, but unfortunately the Bucky will not connect. Jesse Vash now repositions to try to hold as they swing on out from the ropes. Continuing to jump and air hop over Poppy in with a shorty. Say hello.
I love the little ideas that GE has. They have some good ideas in the little moments. Just this patience continuing, that might be what they need. That's going to be the cleanup from Poppy against 2GE, getting some hard-earned revenge here in map 2. And it looked like, you know, Team Secret, they might be able to start to fire off with those headshots and turn things around, but it's a good recovery from Darion.
And that's ultimately what saved the round for Global Esports. Just enough of information, but what was really surprising is then this little play with the movement out of the ropes. I thought maybe at least Jesse Vash would be able to get one. Once again, I mean, both teams reading things effectively well. But unfortunately, the situation not quite paying out for Team Secret.
And I like what they did there when they got the ping with the Cypher ultimate, trying to decide where they eventually go. First of all, they calm down, they wait for the first ping, but they recognize that Jesse Vash is a lot closer. So while, yes, there is risk for accident, he wasn't holding a shorty, so that's not a risk. And that just means he doesn't have as much time to run away and hide in another corner. So you decide to go and take that early fight. You know he doesn't have a shorty, so you're going to jump out. It's going to be hard for him to get that instant kill, and you'll be able to overpower him, eventually leading to a clean round win.
Because then you're playing against just the lone survivor of Team Secret. So
Jeremy, Ingvi और
so far
सब एक जैसे क्यों दिख रहा
है? But this is then when Team Secret gets to buy back up, and with the timeout being called, you have to imagine we saw a little bit of it before. They were trying to make some adjustments up around A, up around B, trying to take more space out around Garage, and they're doing similar things. The star is being placed out across the map now.
So now the push out of A once again. You need a bit of that extra information. But GE, are they ready for it, or do they want to go for their own push? It's only 3 members, so I imagine you got to be waiting for another fight here.
Might be a good pinch, though. You have Jeremy up around the sides, and he's got the big shells.
But now you know the sky minimum is here alongside the Cypher.
Open pick there, bhai.
Just as they tried to cross. Now Envy spots the rest of them as well. Has a potential grab net possibly. But then the quick to mid-play. Quick pinch in towards the B side. Kelly S getting the kill on towards Jesse Vash. Now Envy tries to hold and stop them down, but not able to connect. Udo
let's go boys.
Second kill. Seekers alongside Flash and 2GE. Unbeknownst to him. Wait, still able to survive. Udotan, a little bit of a whiff, but at the very least, the spike does go down.
Oh, but you don't want to shoot this right now, right? It's a 2v3, and you can't quite group up just yet. You're so low.
Got to deal against Udotan first.
Yeah, Wild Oreo's just going to wait. He's waiting for them to peek out, but yeah, Udotan's buying so much time. It doesn't matter if he didn't get the kill.
Oh, and that should be the round over. At the very least, 2G and Wild Oreo is still trying to make some moves out from heaven. Just trying to bank on the fact that he might be up around Garage instead, but still playing out with the advantages of HP and positioning around the pillars. They will be able to secure the round. It's 7-4 now in favor of Global Esports.
So an interesting kind of utility usage there. Not necessarily intentional, but Kelly S, when they're getting spammed down through that one-way, he had already thrown the grab net. So you know that Jesse Vash is going to be caught there because he's still spraying. So he just sprays right back where they saw the gunfire coming from, where they heard it coming from. And that's able to get that trade. If they don't get that trade, that round falls apart, but he's able to open up the site for the rest of his team.
Yeah, so just being able to read that positioning up from Jesse Vash. Now they're trying to do the same thing again. 3 players up against 1 around B.
The fast push in, but GU suspect the one-way once again. Surely you're wary of it.
And Jesse Vash is playing relatively safe though. The Judge around the pillar.
And I do like the higher trips that Jesse's been putting down, right? It's a Raze coming in, you know it's generally a blast pack, and also those Prowlers coming in. So they're not going to get broken early, but for now, GE avoids trouble.
They have their ultimates as well, so wanting to keep this round in their pockets. Making every decision count now.
Oh, but this is always the problem with Sky. You don't know how many you tagged. So now you're just back to square one. At this point, if you don't get more information on A, it's just default hold forever.
That's what it looks like for Team Secret until the Nightfall collapses on through in towards Heaven. Reckoning, I mean, Annihilation, excuse me, was sent in, but ultimately dealt with. Fast push looking to execute through, but Jesse Vash continues to try to hold them off. Judge shots not quite connecting though. Wild Warrior will be able to do a bit of damage. Double kill in, but Poppy makes it a trade. Back to a 3-on-3 until the Annihilation completes. And all that's left is 2GE alongside Jeremy, trying to execute in towards Hell, but not quite completing it through. Unotan in with a showstopper, just buys further time until Jeremy falls apart.
8-4 on the attacking half. A great start to the second map. GE, they've already left Abyss down way back in the past. They're living in the present right now, and they're looking to try to take this to Pearl. Something I want to point out is that Kelly S, I was almost concerned because in the very beginning of the map, he was holding on to that Annihilation for so long, but he's been using it for absolute certain clear. When you're clearing for those close quarters, not trying to go in and fish for something long range, you know that that ult can be a little wonky. He just says, when we get contact, this is how we push out, and usually because it's such close quarters, I'm going to get him with that radius, and he's gotten 2 for 2 in that half.
And that's how you make that ultimate count, finding that very crucial lead for the side of Global Esports on their map pick, causing Team Secret to shake just
पर
a
एम
little.
एम ठीक करना पड़ेगा बहुत ये लोग बहुत ज़्यादा क्या बोलते हैं टेंशन में वो लोग एम में दिखाई दे रहे हो टेंशन बहुत ज़्यादा दर के खेल रहे दर के नहीं मतलब क्या बोलेगा वो टेंशन में खेल रहा है तो उसका वजह से शेक हो रहा है इसलिए क्राउड ज़्यादा आ रहा है
is if the Fade Util comes out clutch once again for GE, if they're able to get certain information, if they can hold you off, if you match up on the site, the Seas comes to delay you. But if you're on the other side, the Haunt gets that information that there's nobody there. So info once again a little bit more on the side of GE. And I think Team Secret, they gotta come out swinging. They gotta come out ready to just take those fights. But I mean, how do you make sure you clear all of Deadlock and Cypher's utility?
You're gonna have to be in sync. You're gonna need to carry forward that confidence that you built up from that early first map. 13-3 was the score back then. And hoping to see, you know, the rounds flipped a little bit.
Ooh. Yeah, and I like this from GE, because in my head, I'm thinking generally Team Secret, they're going to have to go through the wings first. The mid play is not going to be as common the way that they're going to be able to go, because generally you're going to want to clear traps with their paint shells and then just go for a full send. So now just block off, delay that. You already have A control. Then you've got B for some extra delay with that Astra on top of the Cypher.
It's Team Secret just trying to play a little bit reactive once again. Well, maybe trying to break through mid, but Global Esports does get the right read, you know, trying to spam through the smokes. Team Secret still managing to avoid most of it, though.
Bring them down.
So Prowler coming out, spots info in mid. They know that it's a push-up, but the trip's still there.
Okay, broken. So this round's gonna take a little bit of time. Team Secret now in towards Vents, doesn't spot anything out. Then they explore back in towards Mail, where Darien tries to slow things down. In with a Cyber Cage. Individual fights though now, Jesse Vash, continuing to try to lurk. Caught with a grab net, no. Ooh!
Oh no!
Does he? Yeah,
okay.
Just drops.
Yeah, but they know that he's escaping and they know that there's no trade back, so you gotta imagine it's B. The backup's already here, down an alley.
Yes, he buys enough attention away and on for the hit in towards the B site. Crystal manages to make a bit of a trade happen, but down comes Envy from Heaven. Additional support, and there's just so much from his bird's eye view. Crystal goes in for the swing though, back out from spawn. Another swing out, and 2G caught unaware. It's down to Jesse Vash, and he's a little bit far away. Off from Heaven, low HP, looking for the angle. Crystal continuing to hold. He manages to stick it. It's down to Unotan. He swings and gets the kill onto a low HP Jesse Vash. Global Esports for the pistol win.
I mean, this is all Crystal. Let's just say it like it is. If he doesn't get that swing out onto Heaven, onto Raptors, and get that kill, you don't have an opening back into the site. Jeremy doing everything he can to hold them off, and like you said, he still draws away one member and wins that kill, so Jesse Vash doing what he could, but Crystal just peeks out, gets 2.
Damn.
I mean, this is the type of play that we saw from Ascension 2 years ago, and then once again in VCT China's Ascension when he was still with SOG.
What a player.
Double judge on the defense.
One onto B, the other one onto the off angle on A.
Got him.
Oh, okay. Vent's already opened up.
वैंडल दे दिया भाई.
Maybe a little bit of space, but if you do
वैंडल दे दिया उसको.
you gotta face possibly Udotan with that judge as well.
Yeah, that is the Vandal. So
वैंडल दे दिया. पीछे क्यों नहीं खेल रहे भाई?
Again, imagining that you can have some sort of advantage. Judge spotted.
Okay. Wait.
They're gonna push in for it.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh no. They're
grabbing it as well.
Oh no.
Kelly S continuing to hop up and down, looking to play whack-a-mole against them, but Jeremy backs up completely.
That Vandal's still alive. This is the threat against GE. They dropped the most valuable weapon in the very beginning of the round.
Uh-oh.
Holding that off angle. You go for the swing. Oh!
Poppy. Spectre headshot, no, but in with the pistols. Udotan blast packs ahead. Waldoria pulls out utility. Udotan swings! That's another judge kill. Still, though, relatively low HP, and 2GE is looking to pick something up. Has the classic, goes for the right click, picks up the judge, tries to play it for time. He knows Darian might be close. Tries to take the spike. Oh, right underneath. Doesn't look up in time, and Darian will be able to clean things up. Pretty successful Eco nonetheless in terms of damage.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they take out the two judges and the Spectre as well, so lots of damage done against a GE who everybody bought at least some sort of upgrade in that 14th round. But well done, you know, from GE, still stemming the bleeding a bit. They still carry over the Vandal, so you've got some firepower here in the bonus round. Just a clean shot from Jeremy.
Like we said, right? I mean, this is January Jeremy. If you can keep that up.
And Udotan, living up to his name, Udotan, for those who don't know, means homing missile in Korean. So just flying right to his enemies with the judge.
Okay. That's a bit of lore. All right. Up to the next round now. I mean, Team Secret definitely still have a slight chance of turning things around. Global Esports on some sheriffs and pistols and another Bucky from Crystal.
Gamble कर लेता है, एक side खेल लेता है.
The Bucky close, you spotted he was jump peeking earlier, but then of course the util commitment as well with the Prowler. So you're a little wary of this one. It's a little fishy. You hear the Bucky, but do they know it's double? Poppy's back there. Crystal's just gonna stay here forever.
Not fully aware, yeah. Crystal pretty much stuck now. You know, they're still looking for some of these safe kills, right? Trying to spam through the smoke, spam away through the walls, but in towards back mid. Off towards Kelly S now, trying to fend that off. Team Secret continuing to swing again and again.
Yeah, so much utility has been drawn out from Global Esports that Team Secret, generally speaking, oh, well, especially with the Cypher God, yeah, you're safe to go. You're safe to go wherever you wish.
Smokes up as well. Udotan, Lone Vandal, alongside Poppy, trying to swing out, but the waterfall doesn't quite work out in their favor. Timing not on their side, numbers not on their side, and it's just Crystal.
With a Bucky, 14 HP, doable.
Yes.
Yeah. If Crystal was truly a two-time Ascension Grand Finalist, he could clutch this with a Bucky 1v5.
Two-time Ascension finalist and Pacific player now.
Yeah.
Maybe Pacific champion if he gets this 1v5.
Listen, if he gets this, I say we write off the whole year. He's going to champion. You lock him in.
No chance. He's stuck in ropes, looking to possibly die to this spike.
Yeah, just hoping that there is an exit frag coming his way. I don't think you peek out here, Crystal. There's no way you're going to be able to win a fight. Yeah, you just wait to see if they get curious. But Team Secret not taking any chances.
They're like firing off a little bit as well. I mean,
oh, he's gonna peek out. Oh, okay. You know what? I don't mind it. I don't mind it because you get another ult point if you die. Because I think he does that because he heard the gunfire.
तो उससे क्यों नहीं मारा है?
So you know someone's there. So either you get the kill or they get the kill on you. So you're getting an ult point no matter what. And either way, you still die to the round. You get your creds. But if you die to the spike, you don't get your ult point. So maximizing what you can. Yeah, I mean, if you get a kill, it's even better. It's a bonus on top.
इसमें क्यों नहीं मर गया?
You know, they do have the round lead, so it's all good for now. He's one away from his ult. So trying to keep that in mind. Playing a little bit more safe global with the B setup.
Yeah, you don't see that every day. High-low on the boxes. That's aggressive. Udotan continuing to jump peek just for information.
Smoker और गया दो.
Contrary
छोड़
to
दे,
Team
फिर
Secret,
क्यों
Team
इतना
kind of leave
aggro-
mid
aggro-
relatively open. They're really just using it just to delay, on a timing. Once they have information that Team Secret is going to want to take space, they trade util for util, but they know eventually it should always
बढ़िया,
be
nice
a
बढ़िया.
main site hit.
Pick लेके मरना मत अभी.
Just managing to play that to their advantage as well. 2 early kills, and that pretty much seals the deal. Team
Oi!
Oh, whoa, that came too close. I thought they had the crossfire, but now things are starting to fall apart. Jesse Vash alongside Jeremy looking for that A conversion. Jesse Vash already stretching his legs across the A site.
बोला कि
Trick
aggro
set
क्यों
up.
कर रहा है? पीछे खेल लेता.
But now Jeremy has to kind of swing on over, at least hold out for heaven.
He can survive a bit longer, but he gets spotted. That's unfortunate.
ठीक है,
Poppy
कोई
with
बात
a
नहीं,
nice
कोई बात
cleanup.
नहीं.
With the potential support as well, so now you got to watch out for heaven.
उसका पास ulti आ जाएगा ना?
Well, there does have the Seekers, and he lets it go.
Yeah, you have to. You're stuck in a bad position.
2 into screens, and he's very well aware now. Continuing to try to hold from elbow. Here's the footsteps. What's Jesse Vash doing? Managed to get the flick while they're down for the next. And it's down to the trade. Jesse Vash tries to flick to the left. Needs to play around the cover now. He's low HP. He's trying to isolate, but Poppy gets it against
Well played,
it.
well played.
Hello, I'm the new
कोई
face
बात
of the
नहीं, ulti आ गया.
Philippines.
4K for
उनका
Poppy.
ulti चला के और
Really
अपना ulti
rising
आ गया.
back up here in the second map, bringing GE to 11. 1 point away from map point, 2 rounds away from taking us to Pearl. 16-9-3 for Crystal, and then just as much for Poppy. Incredible.
Calm plays, individual performances. It was a 2-on-3, and Team Secret made it close.
Yes.
But you don't want to doubt Poppy when he's feeling it.
I mean, this is the Challenger's clutch master. I mean, go to Ascension, he's clutching. In the Philippines, he's clutching. He's just always clutching. And now he finally gets to show what he's made of.
You know, they might not have made it through to, like, Ascension Finals, but he's been there twice, and he's clutched, twice, 2 years in a row. It's always good for it, but here it comes. Now Team Secret, maybe sitting on the ultimate from Jeremy.
I mean, yeah, you just have to. You have to go for the paint shell clears, and then you just have to full send it. But look at this, GE. Again, as long as we hold heaven, they have so many ultimates. You got the Nightfall, Cosmic Divide. I mean, these are all power ultimates that they have.
To at least secure map point, but now trying to pitch against them. In with the Fade Raise combo, but it doesn't quite connect. Now GrabNet on towards Udotan, and he pulls out the Showstopper just to force them to pay some respect to him. Sends it into Jeremy's feet, and now looking for the next. Swings out, and 2 kills! Down to the next! Even GrabNet on towards 2GE,
Oh,
but not quite able to connect.
क्यों मरा क्यों नहीं?
He managed to make it away.
All right, they hear that. Kelly should have heard that just in range. So Darion's ready for a peek out. But you still don't know where Jesse Vash is, so that's why Kelly S is still a bit wary. He's still holding close on mid. The backup coming all the way through spawn. He gets caught. That's the B side open.
Somewhat possible. One more kill, or the spike plant for 2G, and he might have the Cosmic Divide to try to make some kind of a play around it. Jesse Vash has to stay alive.
But I don't know why he chose to run all the way through spawn. You had mid clear. That's where Jesse was.
He's gonna have time at least, I think. But Jesse Vash, he really has to be so cautious.
All right. Okay. Plant goes through. Jesse already has position.
क्यों उसको pick क्यों नहीं किया?
Cosmic Divide for Cosmic Divide.
Man, wall for wall.
Paralleled. They were down into the little corner. I think this kind of works against Team Secret. 2G tries to make the play for it, but Poppy gets off at the right time. Jesse Vash gets the kill. Darian hops onto the spike. It's half. He pulls his gun out, but Jesse Vash nails the burst. Headshot in. Team Secret manages to stay alive.
This was such a good call. I don't care who made it on the side of Team Secret, but you put it in peril, and then you hide on the other side of the pillar in between the 2 walls, so you can still hear when the defuse comes through. Just understanding where the gaps are with all this utility and the map setup. And then they just take a timing on the double swing through the walls.
gun change क्यों नहीं?
It's so insane.
What a choice.
If you think about it, it's kind of like ISO ult. You're in this one little plane.
Cutting up their own dimensions out here.
Oh my god. Well, now Global Esports onto the pistols, looking to get aggressive down mid. Double peeks out, but it's a little bit solo. And 2GE will bring them down to their knees as well. First kill off. Kelias holds onto the grab net to try to slow him down, and Fuji continues to swing. Thankfully makes it out alive.
You know that this is relatively weaker. Sure, it could have been bait, but now it would be a bit of a hard commitment. So you know mid was weaker, but GE, this means you need to take side control, and that's exactly what they're doing. A main already cleaned out. I don't know if you need as much as B, but obviously the weaponry not quite there, so they'll get whatever advantage they can get right now.
Stuck through the sonic sensors at the very least. Might have heard 2G going to astral form as well, so trying to get the shot from behind him, but not quite. Jesse Vash still able to kind of lurk around A site, and that gives them the opening into the site.
Oh, and 2G, you heard it. 2G hears footsteps. They're ready for it. And he gets one.
Darian, though, still managing to slow them down as they try to head on into the A site. The Sentinel coming alive now. But is he aware about his back? 2G up around the sides. Takes down Envy at the very least. So 1-on-2 somewhat maybe possible for Poppy. I mean, he's got the Sheriff. Definitely looking to try to make it happen. Got to break through the barrier mesh first.
Yeah, but not making as much noise, trying to hide it as much as possible. But if they had the right timer, Team Secret should know that that wall went down faster.
Okay. It's Poppy.
Oh, I love the early gravity wall. Now you have the crossfire set up. Just buying time. Trying to get a weapon. He won't give it to him. 2GE answers back.
Place it safe. Managed to make everything work. The stars up. Right around the corner as well.
mid clear करना चाहिए तो उसका बाद flank करना चाहिए.
So I mean, once again, Global Esports, they still have their lead. They're trying to do things on the pistol, but ultimately being spotted and heard out by Team Secret.
And 2GE had a bit of a quiet map so far, but he is coming back alive right when they need it most. Still hasn't given up map points. Still not at 12 yet for GE, so it's absolutely possible for Team Secret.
As long as you cycle through those ultimates. I mean, Big Time was saying that he's looking forward to some overtimes as well, so who knows? But now, starting things off.
We know how it is with GE on Split. You're always good for an OT on GE with Split.
Team Secret too, I mean, they managed to take this in overtime against Gen G in Stage 2 last year, so who knows truly how it's all going to play out. Early info out towards mid. Team Secret, once again, being a little bit reactive. Okay.
Spots both. That's a good jump peek. You still have trips to fall back on. You've got your eyes on here. So now it's a little bit of extra pressure for Kelias to get information in mid.
Yeah, he's trying to do that, but smoked off and everything. Trailblazer hunting him down. He's being forced to give up a lot of space.
At this point, you got to fall back, and that's exactly what they're doing on GE, because you've already given up mid control. It's too late for Crystal to come back through vents and try to get a peek. So you fall back, you just accept your losses. If they come A, you delay with the trips. You still got that pocket play on the side, but it's going to be a B hit.
Whoa.
Oh, the Annihilation.
Jeremy, though, avoiding the Annihilation, has the showstopper, connects onto Kelias, now looks for Poppy, but Unotan holds down for Mail. Look at the triple, slays them all down. Jeremy, inside of the smoke, though, tries to go for the swing, manages to get down Poppy, looks up. Trying to look for the kills. Jesse Bash going in for the sprays.
Nice. Well played. Nice round.
Just as soon as Jeremy fell, Crystal in to secure map point for Global Esports.
Nice round, guys.
Gets sent into the site just with the task of clearing it. Don't worry about the Annihilation. Your teammates were clear, but that means it took too long, so Yudotan was in position. Jeremy needed to help hold that heaven, but the team made a concisive call to say, go clear site, we'll clear out the Annihilation, but they didn't have sightline of stairs, and Yudotan's able to get the spray down, bringing them to map point.
And that's just a perfect way to play around the Annihilation as well, right? I
कोई बात नहीं. अच्छा राउंड था. अभी इको है, बस आराम से खेलो. मिड छोड़ दो, बैक खेलो, जीत जाएगा. ये मिड पे जो फाइट ले रहा है वही प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है.
Close out the map. A judge being pulled out by Kelias to control Mail Room.
He just says, don't even come here. You know what? Don't even think about mid. Go to the sides. That's what you have to do anyway with your composition. You're not going to be able to get through here with clarity. You can't get through here with information. That's what Kelias is trying to say. Because either to get that information, use all of your Sky Util, or, I mean, you're going in blind.
Or he's waving the red cape. It's like, come here. I dare you to challenge me. Now, surely Team Secret doesn't think of that. They're trying to explore their options towards possibly A now. A little bit of early shots. Jesse Bash is looking for that space, but two players are hunting him down. He managed to get one down at the very least. But here come the paint shells. Unotan pops the showstopper just to hold space up around the back of ropes as well. Unotan, the homing missile, He will blow them up! 4 kills down, and all that's left is 2GE. 1 on 3. Is this possible? Tries to hold, tries to swing with the Sheriff, but Puppy manages to close out the match, and Global Esports will bring us the distance.
You don't see rounds like that every day. Just absolute 100% value on the Raze kit. You get the name kill, you get the refresh, you get the showstoppers. I mean, what a map here from Udotan. I mean, everybody on GE, they are able to rise right back up to the level that people were excited for. Firing on all cylinders, everyone getting the kills they needed, and some good calls as well on that mid-rounding, knowing when to give up the space if you're not having full control. I love what we saw from them. Team Secret still gave them a fight, though. It wasn't a complete pushover, but this is the type of game that people wanted to see from Global Esports.
Absolutely. I am thoroughly satisfied. You know, we got to see every individual moment. Crystal on the pistols. We got to see some puppy clutches. We got to see Darren doing a little bit as well with that one round with the Outlaw. But ultimately, at the end of it all, Udotan.
बहुत ज़्यादा default था.
He's had a couple multi-kills throughout this game. I'd be curious exactly how many he had. I believe he ended the match with,
चाहिए तो 12,
with a little over
13,
20 kills.
13, 5 में, 36 में ये जीत सकता था.
13, of course,
13 by 36 में जीत सकता
This
था.
play, by the way, this still might be my favorite highlight of this map, because that is some absolute 200 IQ setup.
Oh my god, the mind games on that one. But, you know, all that said, Team Secret, like you mentioned, right, still making things competitive. Jeremy had like 7 first kills at the end of the whole thing. You know, this is, again, a very good look for Jeremy. This is the confidence that we need to see from him to carry all throughout the whole season, honestly. I mean, just kickoffs right now, but who knows for the rest of the year.
Good awareness from you to help
Udotan
wrap this up.
danger holding game
to get that 4K as well. And then Poppy finally getting some chances to play some Valorant in that second map. That's going to be Split. Now tying things up 1-1. We have one more map between these two teams. But for now, we'll send it over to Analyst Test to continue breaking down all of the action that came out.
Pacific 2025.
That is right. We are going to a map number 3 with Global Esports managing to take Split. There were a lot of nail-biting moments in that map, especially since, things were getting really, really messy at times.
Yeah, I think Global, finally we see these individuals wake up, and that is the power of picking fantastic players like they've done. You know, you saw a fantastic bounce back from Crystal, a great game from Udotan, who's played actually a lot of duelists in his career so far. Despite the fact that he's been a Senti for GE in most of the off-season, he's got a lot of games on things like Raze, so this is well and truly in his comfort zone, and Puppy giving them some key clutches. Definitely the clutch win in the pistol set them off on the right tone. They won a thrifty round, and then they won a couple of swing rounds, and it really felt like they had the momentum that they needed to roll through the rest of the game, despite some decent showings there from
सबको diff कर दिया ना?
Yeah,
Papi को छोड़ के.
on the graphic before.
Papi smoke पे diff कर दिया.
Global, which shows me they really understand how to play this comp. It means they're really
Catalog diff आ गया. Cypher को छोड़ के सब कुछ diff आ गया.
Yeah, definitely from their attack side.
Darion fit रहा था.
Understood how to play this.
Darion में अगर अच्छा खेलता ना तो मजा आ जाता.
Out of the fade that Secret didn't necessarily get out of the sky as well.
Yeah, I think, you know, I mean, of course you're going to give the MVP to Udotan, 300 ACS on the Raze, especially that round to close it out was fantastic, but I totally agree. I think that I usually am not a fan of the fade on Split, unless you're going to pair it with a breach or something where you can, you know, prowler stun, things like that, and bully control, but for a single initiator, I think having the 2 prowlers and having that flexibility to clear out the map and, you know, recycle the horn and things like that was huge for them.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, GE really took that reset to heart, right? They really decided, you know what? Let's forget the first map. We're going in to Split now, and as you mentioned, you know, their plan really played out.
I mean, Morgan mentioned it as well just before, playing the post plants to perfection, winning all of those post plants. It's a showstopper to clear out all of the site, minimize the risk. But what I really like here is that they heavily fight for ramp control and let the showstopper go into site, as well as dropping the Cosmic as soon as the smokes fade. So you do actually get such a disruptive approach in the post plant for GE, and it's almost impossible for Secret to complete this retake against Deadlock, Cypher, and such great positioning.
Yeah, this to me shows great macro game planning from Global. They know this is a swing round. Secret can't buy again after this, and you have 2 ults. So they make a clear plan to use them. 1 to get the site, 1 to help you win the post plant, and it works out perfectly.
And here's the thing, I still don't think that this is GE like totally refined, right? This is just them like kind of getting their bearings back. like remembering like the game plan for today, this is very, very far from what they are capable of. This is just a little teaser of what they have to offer for the rest of the year.
Yeah, for sure. I think the thing that was different between map 1 and 2 for GE was obviously the individuals which you mentioned, but the calling was really, really good, and it felt like they had a clear game plan, whereas on Abyss, I don't feel like they played the comp well. They looked really lost, and Secret never really needed to do anything but their plan A. They just executed the sides, played their game plan, and rolled them over, and that was not a good look for GE, so I'm glad to see the bounce back, honestly.
So coming from somebody who was at this very, very position not too long ago, what do you think happened in that reset, in between the maps? What was it like for like Elias to be able to like, you know, reset himself?
It's like something I said after the first map. When you get stomped, it's very easy to go, that's not how we actually play the game. That's not what we're like in practice. That's not who we are as a team. So now we have another opportunity to prove who we are as a team. Instead of it like, if you give your best and it's a really close game and it's not good enough, it's a lot easier to get in your head of maybe they're better than me. But if you get blown out, it's very easy to go, that's on me. Like, we sucked that game, guys. We sucked. And, you know, next game, we're just not going to suck. Like, it's really, really simple. And I think a lot of it is just coming down to remembering what they will have done in practice, the steps that they've kind of taken to get themselves ready for this event, and it looked like it definitely worked. So credit to the coaching staff, credit to KLES as the IGL there to be able to turn that around.
Yeah, this is very encouraging, I feel, from Global Esports, right? But now we are heading into Pearl. What is this going to be like, especially since, you know, now you have both opportunities for both teams to have clean slates, to point out their mistakes, and, you know, finally get this decider map.
Hey, look, Team Secret already lost to an Indian team on this map in the off-season, right? So what's another one for Global Esports? No, I mean, it's going to be hard to know what these two teams are going to be bringing. We've only seen Secret on this map once in the off-season. We've seen nothing from Global, but a lot of these players should be pretty familiar playing Pearl, and a lot of them have had the tenure to be around long enough. So it'll be interesting to see what the approach is going to be. But again, similar to what we saw on Abyss and the kind of comp that worked on Abyss, whereas Secret changed on Split, it didn't really work out for them. It didn't seem like it fit their playstyle. Once again, we're going back to that double initiator, flexible style that worked on Abyss for Secret. So maybe that's going to be a little bit better for them this map.
Yeah, I really want to see Global cook on this map. I feel like if you try and take Secret to the more default versus default comp, I think that's where they really excel, and we saw that in Abyss. I feel like when the comps are standard and the game can be played the same way like it has forever for Team Secret, especially in that core, they have a ton of experience. And I think this Deadlock Cypher, it's slightly off meta from what we've seen in the past in Split, and it definitely suited them more. So I want to see some cooking. I want to see Vice come out. I know that they're high on Vice, and I think Vice works very well on Pearl. So I think that's what I'm really hoping to see from Global here.
Yeah, Team Secret have been running Vice in the offseason as well. Yeah. You know, maybe they're like, you know, hey, we'll keep it a secret for now. But I do love that all of these players are having their moments in this series, right? You can see everybody is getting their chance to shine. And hey, by the way, Crystal Stonks going up, and you have Poppy Stonks going up as well. Earlier, we did see 2GE get his moment too, and we have Envy, of course, going up there. Yeah. So, feeling confident so far with your teams?
Yeah, all of these players have had their moments so far today. You know, TGE had a fantastic first map, a little bit further down on the second map, but we'll see if he can turn it around. I think the individuals are really important for Global, though. Like, Team Secret is definitely the more well-drilled, better chemistry team in this matchup as far as I'm concerned. Global need the individuals to pop off. I wouldn't mind seeing a funky comp, but more so than the comp, I really think it's a mentality thing, really. Yeah. Global was so reactive, hands-off, weren't rotating, weren't getting into the game enough on the first map, and they got rolled by Secret, who were running what they wanted to do. I want to see the individual players take risks and go for plays on the side of Global and use that individual skill, as well as just them be proactive, not reactive.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. You can tell that's definitely part of that reset between map 1 and map 2. It looked like they controlled the game a lot more.
Yes.
And that's basically, if you're in control of the game, you're setting the tempo, the other team has to react to what you're doing instead of you having to react to them. So being in charge of the game, leading, is really, you know, it's a huge predecessor to winning. So that's what they didn't have in map 1 that they really brought to map 2. So I'm curious to see who's going to bring them map 3.
You did have a lot of that. TS looked like they were like shepherding Global Esports in that first map, right? And then not so much in the second map. But yeah, I really do wonder what both teams have planned for Pearl. You know, I think like both both teams right now, they've shaken off those initial nerves, right? It's been a while. It's their first time back on the Pacific stage. It's the first time for the roster of Global Esports to step on that stage. So they're like, just got to shake it off now. Now both teams are very, very warm. So I'm expecting something very different on Pearl.
Yeah, I think at the moment we've obviously seen a fair bit of Neon Yoru with the chaotic kind of game style where you're sending it in, you're going for those fast retakes, things like that. I immediately thought of maps like Abyss or Pearl when I saw Teo personally, because of how strong the post plan is. This could be a time for one of these teams to cook and potentially bring it out and abuse those post plans. It's obviously going to be a little bit weaker in terms of, if you want to rely on the post plants on attack, you're probably going to need to run double init because you have to actually go through links, you have to go through art, you can't just hard exec every time and expect it to work out unless you're going to run that Neon Yoru kind of approach and just, barrel into the site, which I think if you're running 2 inits, you probably don't have the space in your comp for.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of options. I've seen a lot of different things being played. In EMEA, we saw... Oh, wait, apologies, I'm thinking of Abyss. I was going to say we've seen Sage. I've not seen Sage on Pearl. That would be good, though.
Hey,
we
who
used
knows?
to see it to get the plants down and stuff like that. Initially, it was
a lot of paper wrecks with a Sage on Abyss, right? So I feel like, Team Secret, sure, they can cup. And hey, why not a Tejo, right? I mean, I think we've been getting Tejo a lot more than a lot of broadcasts out have predicted in all across kickoffs all around.
Yeah, I think Jet is obviously a fantastic choice on Pearl.
Hey,
there's the Vice. That's
we have
what
a
you wanted.
Vice coming in.
But Team Secret, I mean, it's the tried and true. It's the thing that worked out for them well on Abyss, and they're going to be on the defensive side first, but GE, they'll set the tempo. It's only going to be the single init with Crystal on the Sova. This is where Darion, he's had actually a little bit more of a quieter series, and they're going to need to have that lurk potential, because once again, they're playing double Senti as well as the Astra, single init, which is not a fade, so their ability to clear map control is going to be a little harder. They're going to have to be active with the lurks and successful finding those timings on attack.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Jet helps a lot, I think, in terms of you don't need a ton to be set up with the Jet, maybe just one simple flash because you can dash into your own smoke, so you're quite safe as you go in. And I think on defense, being able to opt convincingly is definitely a huge part of Jet's toolkit down B.
Well, let's see who takes this one. We're heading into Pearl and back to our casters, Shobra and Quack.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Over at the analyst desk now, just one map in between these two teams, trying to move on to the next round here in this double elimination bracket. And Quack, I mean, Team Secret, they just go right back to comfort zone.
Yeah, I mean, old dogs, with their same tricks, why not? It does kind of work out, especially
let's go.
With how they're
let's
playing
go, G.
But like the desk mentioned, playing that double initiator, you're trying to play it, especially on the defensive side, you do want to kind of get a little bit proactive. And that's what they're trying to do now, starting things off on the B site. Holding the angle out towards the top, but not spotting out too much.
Yeah, and Kelly is just saying, all right, we already know that they're trying to get information on B main. Let's just ditch that. Let's move on. I think I've bought enough time, but what he does not know is that club already getting cleared by Team Secret. So exactly as Ades mentioned, that's going to be Secret having the information they need. They have some good delay on the plant, and they're able to hold on to that back site. We'll see how G is able to maneuver around this execute.
Somewhat of a crossfire with Wild Warrior inside dugout and 2G from Flowers at the same time. It delays all being burnt out now as the rotations slowly go on through. Jeremy trying to come up with a bit of a flank from main.
And everybody's been tagged going into Art, so this is some good information. You still have to worry about main, but this is a very, very fast flank from Jeremy. And if he's able to get that first kill onto Poppy, things start to fall apart for GE.
Or, just wait for teammates to buy a little bit more time pressure, but the swing is a little bit too close to the wall. Poppy will be able to spot him out first. And that's a shot in from the Ghost. Now, Team Secret needing to take that pressure up towards Art. They continue to push on, but Darren holds his ground. Jesse Vaj now trying to play with the angles, but not quite. Gonna get spotted out.
Darion को इधर क्या हो गया था? Darion को इधर क्या हो गया था?
Also mentioned that Darion
को Jet इधर.
Have to worry about main, but
now trying to a little bit more time pressure.
अभी देखो इधर Jet push करेगा. Jet को push करेगा देखो. तो यहाँ पे ये बंदा फाइट ले रहा है, ठीक है, हमारा केजे जेट का साथ फाइट ले रहा है. सोवा है, दूसरा वाला सोवा को देख रहा है, देख पा रहे कि नहीं पता नहीं. हाँ, सोवा जो इधर होल्ड कर रहा है एंगल जो, ठीक है, डेरियन भी सेम देख रहा है और जेट इसको फाइट ले रहा है. वो मार ही नहीं रहा है, वो जब मर जाएगा तब ये देखता है, जब वो मर जाएगा तब वो देखता है. चल कोई नहीं, राउंड जीत गया, वही बड़ा बात है.
in towards the B site, but not spotting out too much.
So the Jet wasn't tagged by the 0 point. Everybody else was. So the Vice and Silva getting tagged, but Jet not so much. So you might not be aware that this is eventually going to be the execute or even the potential for this long-range fight. There's the jump peek. He should have spotted the Marshal at that jump.
Still, though, trying to stay tucked away at least. Team Secret not wanting to give off too much.
So you know there's no one behind this screen right here.
Nice
But
rotation.
no other information. Still spots Wild Aura. He's drawing a lot of attention. Yudotan might be getting a little too greedy. This could become a double peek.
Or to keep some presence on towards the B site just to buy the rotations over.
Nice
The
call,
rest of the
nice
team
call, guys,
actually
nice call.
transitions over onto A.
It's a good sell, right? It's the Jet. Surely it's going to be the execute.
Oh, with a few seconds, surely you smell something up.
Well, I think Team Secret also thinking that they might have sold the bait, right? Because it was just a Killjoy spotted. So you're thinking like, hey, it's just a Killjoy. We've got some util here. That's about it. Hey, we're going to smoke it up. But I think that smoke perhaps give it away a bit stronger. And at the end of the day, you know you have the better weaponry. So GE going to have a very, very free plan. And this is one of those rounds where you got to start to consider, do we just go all 5 to the spike?
Yeah, definitely need to think about it. Classics, shorties. And look at GE. Wait, can we get like the angle on towards A main? Look at how they're stacked up against.
Yeah, just all 3 lined up. Anybody peeks out, they're gone for sure. And it's going to be Yudotan. Just going to fish for some kills. It's a Marshal.
Whoa.
Not the biggest loss here. Start to group together. Oh, it's Gastarion. He's already got 4 towards that lockdown. He only has that Ghost.
He's going to go for it.
If he can get even 1 here, it's not bad. He gets 1, does he? Oh, okay, just
Almost.
1.
He was starting to kind of bring his mouse downwards, but there it is, dying to the spike.
कोई बात नहीं.
That is still
Nice round, nice round.
for GE.
क्योंकि लेरियन का पास
Yeah,
बहुत था.
Yudotan got
वो
1
kill ले
there
भी
as
लिया.
well.
कोई बात नहीं.
Peeking out of sewers, so that's 2
बढ़िया.
extra free kills.
एक kill
for
भी ले लिया, एक
GE.
और भी मिल
Got
गया.
the plant. You only lose the Ghost. Regen armor is continuing through. You buy up to match the firepower here in the bonus.
A little bit. We shall see how it does play out. You know, they are on the attacking side, and we should mention, you know, GE were the ones that left this map open, so hopefully they do have something cooked up. Meanwhile, Team Secret, like the Des mentioned as well, I mean, Pilsky, yes, Team Secret did lose to an Indian team as well.
I can't believe he did a girdle like that, man.
I mean, they were playing without Wild Oreo, but hopefully they are prepared for this map too. Be playing with the same composition from before, but Jeremy newfound confidence now, pushing in towards A main, continuing to hold the off angle. He spotted a sliver of someone going for that cross in towards the boxes, but now going for the swing, using the fragment to keep them at bay, and that's that double kill. Jesse Vash holding the back lines, good for at least 1.
Yeah, the spike's already down though, so this crossfire over by A main. Jeremy and Envy, the duo. They should be able to hold this pretty strong. Jeremy, yeah, with lower health, he's going to be the bait, really, for Envy. There's the peek. Oh, no, Envy gets taken out, though.
Poppy trying to keep them drawn away, goes in for the trade. Jeremy still alive, and now he's downed. Off to the next, and it's Wild Oreo on towards the back. Spotted Poppy and gets him down to low HP. The regen shield comes back for a little bit of value, but still close range. Should be able to get the burst, but Poppy let the Guardian shot. Can he retrieve the spike? 40 seconds to make something happen.
It's insane that Poppy's been in 2 fights, and he still has more health than 2G thanks to the regen armor. This is value right here.
30 seconds
the Riot
left.
devs smiling.
Oh my.
Well,
close range Phantom.
Oh, 2G, he's trying to get ahead of things. Thinks it might have been a full rotate, potentially onto B. But this is going to be rough. It's going to be a free plant. The stars set up. He's actually just going to go ahead and use those for safety. This is going to take a long time for 2G to come back. He realizes it.
Doesn't quite have the util either, so he's just running head first into hopefully where Poppy's not set up.
But Poppy should hear him if he sprints. Okay, he's got to start walking.
Yep. Takes a little bit of time.
But this is already so much time.
Poppy holding around Art.
2G is not going to have the time to clear this fully.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah, there's the run. So now Poppy knows.
Goes for the tap. Instinctively looks towards Art at the very least, though, but trying to stick it a halfway. Poppy
Nice round, guys. Nice round.
To seal
Well
the
played,
round,
well played.
converting it into a bonus for Global Esports.
That's 2 clutches already in his first opening match of VCT Pacific. Let's see how many he can get throughout the year. A 4K for Poppy. Cosmic Divide online, and that secures the bonus round here for GE. It was a nice attempt pushing out of main from Secret, but Poppy just pulls through.
He starts that off with the Guardian as well. Somewhat mid-range and still lands the shot. So strong, so capable. 6 kills. And with the spike plant as well, now he's got the Cosmic Divide.
Early drone for information. He gets a little bit, but it's not completely certain. Recon doesn't get the tag. Oh, I love the re-clear from Kelly S. They do not want to give up mid control. It really starts to starve Team Secret of information because you're hiding away from any potential pings over on A main. You're hiding away from any potential pings over by mid, and they haven't quite minded if they get pinged on B because they've generally had the better firepower.
Back to what we saw from before. It might be the early 3-stack, but you know, they're just trying to draw them out from their current positions. If anything, they can still back off now that the smoke is up. Just trying to make some more footsteps. No, actually, maybe full commit into B now. Thinking about the lockdown play.
Yeah, you have the lockdown and you have the Cosmic Divide. I don't mind using one, and if you need to, sure, use 2 just to get ahead because that is going to cycle through the ults faster. Ideally, obviously, just using 1, but I do love committing 1 here. Even though your opponents are in eco, make sure you get all the rounds you can.
And hopefully to hold on to those weapons as well. Team Secret now trying to hold off against it. 1 player detained, and now they're going to have to peek up. The smokes come up just as fast. 2G tries to go for the peek, but spotted out. Phantom sprays just to keep him at bay. Kelly S continuing to try to hold, but close range, the Bucky managing to take him down. Udatan trades off, back in towards Halzo, and Udatan has to feel the pressure. Up close range, and it's going to be Jeremy who takes him out with the shorty.
Oh no, it's not planned for them. They have to go for the peek.
Trying to it, slicing the pie.
There's the pool.
Nanostorm as well, though. 1 single kill, but Jesse Vash continues to stick. Oh! Poppy, can you make it happen? Has to swing, but the defuse has been stuck all the way through. Team Secret sneaks out around against Global.
Oh, that is rough for GE. You committed the ultimate as well. Poppy might be 8-0, but the round starting to sneak back into Team Secret's pockets.
इसमें गलती क्या था पता है? इसमें गलती क्या था पता है? देखो, हमारा उदोतान चला गया इधर, ओपन पिच चल रहा है क्रिस्टल का और केलियस का, एक होल्ड कर रहा है इधर, ठीक है, ऐसे चल रहा है अपना। इसमें अभी ये पीछे चला जाएगा, ठीक है, 1 किल ले लिया 4v5, वो शॉटगन में मारा, फिर भी ट्रेड निकल गया 4v3। अभी क्रिस्टल अभी इधर होल्ड कर रहा है। अभी किलजॉय से ये 1 टैप पड़ गया क्रिस्टल, उसका बाद में उदोतान को किल नहीं मिला, पता नहीं कैसे किल नहीं था, वो तो हेडशॉट ही लगा मेरे को, पर फिर अगेन पीक गया तो जेरेमी शॉटगन लेके आ गया तो मर गया। और मेन ये लोग का सबसे बड़ा गलती, ये लोग अगर लॉन्ग ही खेलना था तो, अगर साइड हेल्प नहीं करना था तो ये लोग को इधर प्लान नहीं करना था, मिड प्लान करना चाहिए था। अगर इधर प्लान किया तो सभी साइड खेल के हेल्प कर देना था, कोई बड़ा बात नहीं था।
Vash, though, does have a bit of an angle from Art. Will he get spammed? They actually swing on through the Cosmic Divide with a bit of a flash. 2GE now goes for the sprays. What is that conversion? On towards Envy, and that's 4 players down. All that's left, Darian trying to fire back with an op. He's not quite able to make it happen. Just 1 kill for now. But has to fall back in with the bolt action. Bit of utility in his hands, but 20 seconds left and the spike not in his pockets. What's he gonna do? It's gonna be the save.
Yeah, you gotta save. I mean, sure, he had one of the best aces with an operator in 2024, but right now it's not looking likely. You committed to the attack operator. You do not want to let that investment slip away. And that allows Team Secret to start to catch back up. I love the just proactivity from Envy there to go for the pop flash, and the Cosmic Divide not quite being angled perfectly. Not sure if it was originally always meant to leave a gap there on that corner or not, but either way, you looked at the minimap and Udatan thought he had a chance, but his legs are still showing through. He has no vision, trying to hide away, and full flash he can't survive. And what a spray transfer from 2GE.
Just the domino effect of everything. Tiny details in some of the positions. Thankfully, I've got you to break all of that down. What it all comes down to still.
उदोतान तो अल्टी में खेल सकता है ना, ए और ब्लो बी और ब्लो अल्टी पे खेलो।
Global Esports now starting to run low on economy. We'll see if that op that they saved up does find value. Early shot from Jeremy down B long though.
Yeah, they know they pushed him back towards the far corner. He could still be back sight, so they'll still have to do a lot of fishing for the operator. But meanwhile, I love the switch up. Just a standard switch from B to A to B, back and forth with the operator.
And a little bit of attention in towards Art. Jesse Vash has been playing this position, so now Udotan spotting him out with a bit of a phantom spray.
Now, if you want to go through here, surely you just invest a little bit more utility, but otherwise, I don't mind them leaving, because with the Sova being pushed out, that's less info util, and that's Art empty. It's a very fast re-clear, though.
Yeah, just trying to think that someone will have to kind of refill that space. So quickly going back in to clear out B, looking for that pinch through. Envy tries to slow them down with that fragment. 0 point just to confirm positioning as well. Maybe trying to spray through the smokes. He's been smoked off. Wild Oreo will be able to provide support from his angle out from Halls. But unfortunately, Envy does go down. So a lot more pressure onto Wild Oreo now. Jeremy has to hold the angle as well. Unfortunately, whipping the shot. So going in, taking down Wild Oreo. That's pretty much the site secured for GE. 2 GE though. Trying to play around the Cosmic Divide, looking for some kind of a space, some kind of kill.
Save.
But yeah, you can't find too much. It's just too much oppressive utility now on the other side.
Yeah, the op now really just grabbing Team Secret by the ankles. They can't move forward. 2 of the most costly whiffs Jeremy might have had. Well, that's a whiff too, but that's not too costly. Crystal gonna be just fine with that one, but the 2 whiffs, it causes Wild Oreo to have to just check way too many angles back sight. And that's what befouls the Killjoy in the back sight, and that's the sight open. And then Jeremy, if he had gotten one more kill, maybe you have a shot at going for it. But either way, it's tough with the operator in hand.
Yeah, it's a big map, right? Getting that read against Jesse Vash as well into his position. So unfortunately, that's how the round plays out. Can you just imagine if, like, Crystal whiffs the shot onto the dart? He's like, oh, no, I'm so bad.
Yeah.
No.
He just starts grasping at his hair. He's like, oh, no, what have I done?
Plucks out his eyebrows. And then the game all goes downhill from there. Nah, it's not going to happen. Crystal's on point, and so is Poppy, and so is Darian now.
Jesse Vash does have that Hunter's Fury. He's only 2 kills away from his 1000th kill here in the VCT Pacific.
Ooh.
We had Sugar Zero reach that yesterday. See if he can reach the same milestone. He's good for a lot of kills with that ultimate.
I want to say, like, surely he gets 2 kills, but then I remember there was that one game.
Oh, yeah. We don't want to talk about that one.
Where he gave away the Pulsar mouse, but still back into it, and it's Jeremy on with the op, looking to land some shots up around the pillars, but 2 whiffs, and Udotan takes him down. Wild Oreo to trade, though, so still trying to keep Team Secret alive in this round.
Listen, I do think that was a bit too far ahead of your team, but Udotan has no fear. As when he knows he has a kill, his movement, it's good. He's fast. He's just in your face before you know it.
Udotan living up to that name.
Once again, yeah, goes right for the kill, and that means the op is down. So now you can put a lot more pressure on these long ranges. You still have your own operator for these. Oh my!
What? क्या?
And the rest of the Team Secret players.
कैसे नहीं लगा उसको?
Thinking about potentially rotating as well, right? Solid Drone just trying to clear out, not spotting too much. Global Esports might have a bit of an opportunity to rotate if they want, but straight into the B side they go. Hunter's Fury sent out by Jesse Vash. Little bit of a connection, not a kill. So the spike does go down.
Yeah, 2 tags though, so nice attempt at a spray there from Wild Oreo. See if you could get a sneaky kill through the smoke. It's not going to happen. Now it's a crossfire setup, 2-1-2, 2 in back sight. Their job is going to be to just draw as much aggro. Op missing.
Still managing to get a little bit of space off of that. That's the second connection now. Darren managing to collect onto it. Crystal managing to still hold on towards Halls as well. And all that's left is Envy trying to inch forward, trying to at least get onto the spike, but picking up the weapon, calls for the save instead. Crystal spotted him out just at the last second.
Yeah, and he has to go away. And Crystal, I love that he just waits, neither of them peeking, knowing that they have the number advantage. We weren't really seeing any of this from GE on that first map. They looked flustered. They looked like they were playing alone, but now they're starting to play as a team, understanding their win conditions of each round. And Team Secret, they're still doing the same, but some of these first shots now not going their way.
Yeah, That's ultimately what leaks those sites open, right? You know, even getting the information earlier on, trying to pull those rotations over, you know, they might be able to arrive on site just in time, but that just gives GE that much more space, especially in towards the B site. That's what we've seen so far.
So yet another timeout coming out first from the Team Secret side. Head coach Meow joining Team Secret after such a long tenure over in SEA with Boom Esports, now on a different team with the Philippines.
I keep thinking Boom Meow, Boom Meow. No, TS Meow.
It's been what, like 3 years, right? 2.5 years that he's been with Boom. And he's done a lot, right? He was able to take them to champions. He was able to obviously take them to Ascension, take them all the way to the grand finals, push the current Nongshim Red Forest back when they were SPG all the way to that 5th map, all the way to that overtime.
Heck yeah.
Listen, I mean, you can talk all you want about, well, you eventually didn't win, but also he was able to transform and really upgrade that Boom roster over the years. So I think you got to put a little faith in him here now with Team Secret. However, can they get enough time to make that happen here in this first match?
That's absolutely true. We shall see if they can find that transformation with just one timeout in this round. It's not going to be easy. I mean, maybe for the next upcoming rounds too, given their economy right now for Team Secret. But definitely needing to change up some of their positions now. Back in towards the B site, you know, 3 stack. But given the fact that it's a bit of an eco, GE just being able to barrel through.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that peek out as well. Oh, right there in between the legs.
Okay. Bit of a nothing found moment, but at the very least spotting things out, so that should still be information.
Yeah, no, this is really good from Secret, right? Because they already pushed past Club. They didn't get any deaths there, so they imagine GE either has to spend a lot of time re-clearing that, or it's just going to be an A hit. The backup's already arrived.
Straight in. Stinger kill out from 2GE, but the rifles spray on through. Popping up for it with the shorty now. Kelly's looking for a kill to dug up, but 2GE swings out. A bit of a double kill. Not too bad. All that's left is Jesse Vash. Spike still pretty much secured. Jesse Vash, though, with the recon, manages to secure a rifle for himself. Spotted out by the drone, and now tries to play around his cover. But with 2 players on the other side, Crystal so close, he's able to shut him down.
Just too rushed and getting spotted by that recon right as you arrive. That's unfortunate, really. Just good awareness, if anything, from GE. You know, GE, they get a little bit over aggro at times, I will just say, from a very objective standpoint. However, they don't ever lose sight of how they need to do it. They don't ever lose sight of, do we have the number advantage or not? They only go over aggro when they know they have the number advantage and they have faith in their own trading. So while it looks a little dicey, hey, at the end of the day, you get the round win, you get the round win.
And still being able to buy up on the next round, so it's all good. Still keeping onto that op as well. So now a little bit of an adjustment, having additional support from Crystal alongside Darren in towards B. Doesn't spot anything out, and they can kind of inch forward. The other side of the map, though, Jesse Vash trying to play on towards Connector now, just to hold off Art. Spots out a little.
So you heard 2 people firing there in Art. That's some information. You spot 2 again. Not quite sure about if there's a 3rd or not, but that's a lot of pressure put onto A side, and GE, surely they start working towards B, but this is a new setup. The Nanoswarm ready to stop any push out of B Link.
Just trying to control and block off those mid options for GE, or at least force them to spend some utility to clear it.
Oh, a little late on that sinking there with the gravity well, so not able to get any damage done onto the GE members.
That's then that should be used to inform some of their decisions, but Team Secret right now still not being able to commit too much. It's all down to the 2 players who are pretty much pinned in behind Hall, so no information for them, and they're feeling the pressure. Udotan will be able to push up forward, and Jesse Vash with the off angle, at least to secure 1, but ultimately space gained by GE, and that's the site. That's the last 2 players from Team Secret now forced to tuck tail and turn away.
Yeah, sure, Jesse gets his 1000th kill, but at what cost? Not able to secure the site. A bit unfortunate, and GE, this time, They know that they've got people trapped in backside. That's the only place they don't have information. They know they have a pinch coming in from B-Link, so they actually just never push backside. Yes, they left the angle open to Jesse over by Spawn, and I do think that, cost them that death. But at the end of the day, they wait until the peaks come out from B-Hall in that back of the site. And that's really, really good restraint from GE on this attack. I mean, Team Secret was so impressive in that first map, but once that 313 was out of the way, GE, they look better and better each round.
Without a doubt. You just see it in these moments, right? Getting a read for Jesse Vash's position earlier on. They tried to go for the same play, but then feeling a bit of that resistance and then going back on through. They dealt with the nano swarms. They managed to push into the site, but also suffocating the 2 lone players who are stuck inside of halls. That made so much difference into the hit.
Oh, 3 theaters rented out there. It might pay dividends today for GE.
Right then.
Long time coming. A lot of fans just waiting to have this excitement. All fresh players. Of course, Darion coming in at the beginning of the year as a bit of a VCT Pacific veteran himself, but not much time himself, just last year as his debut.
Yeah, I should just pop off and rip off their shirts. Like the graphic that we had earlier on in pre-show.
It just shows that they're all super jacked.
Yeah, we built this house from the ground up.
Hunter's Fury online for Crystal. Another bit of a power play. You do have that lockdown, but I wouldn't mind if they use Hunter's Fury to enter and then they have a lurk to make sure that they can get some value against that lockdown. Just get that snowball going as much as you can when you have it. They get their own lockdown first.
All right.
That makes it even easier.
The lockdown instead play a little bit more conventional. Hunter's Fury for a potential post plant. Poppy on for the lurk instead. So Team Secret will respect it all. Maybe using their own lockdown for a bit of a counter play, but still able to push up though. Waldorio in with a share shot.
Despite not planted either.
An earlier kill from the utility because of it, I think.
30 seconds
so
left.
Now the lockdown, the defending lockdown comes in, and GE has to respect and play all the way back.
You go for the sprint to A.
Okay.
I don't know if you can make it. It is a long map. Cutting through mid, you should be able to. I love Poppy keeping them at bay so they can't peek out. 13 seconds.
And Darren playing safe behind the pillar just to continue to sound out that op shot, keep them at bay as well. So Spike will go down now, and there's a bit of timing with the position from Poppy. Might be able to read it.
Surely you suspect this. You saw him. You saw him in B-Link. Yeah, Poppy now stepping. He just needs to buy time.
Okay.
Not enough bot.
Just a little more time. Jesse Vash got a read against him. Now all down to Darion, in with the op. Not quite a collat, but still at least 1 kill. Goes for the next, looking to make it a 3rd, but Jeremy has his own op as well and takes him out just right. 7-3, Team Secret will punch back against GE.
Secret trying to keep this competitive, trying to keep that window open for a 5-7 half. Wouldn't be so bad.
Out of charges.
And that is just really, really solid patience, being aware that, okay, he was just in B-Link. We don't want to rush through this. Jesse Vash stops right before he's able to turn that corner. Catch sight of him. Great shock dart as well. I mean, this was just a classic Secret round, right? Jesse Vash holding way back. The shock dart comes out, gets the kill onto the plant, and then you're able to hold them off.
Still a really successful one, given the fact that they didn't have all too much at the beginning of the round. So as we near the end of the first half now, this is a Team Secret that can afford a whole lot more. And now trying to get a little bit proactive with the information. Early dart in towards A main.
All right, fast, secure of main eventually, though. Oof. Very aggressive shock dart coming out from way back. Still have that Hunter's Fury, and if Kelly S gets the plan, he'll have the Steel Garden as well. That could really mess up the timing on the retakes, right? You hear the util coming in, you launch it, and suddenly they just don't have the weaponry. He's gonna actually just launch his first. Goes for the orb. They like to really
पर ये लो अल्टी को डिफेंस में खेलना चाहिए क्योंकि ये लो प्लान तो इजी दे रहा है.
No matter what, this time just to secure the round win.
All this happening though, Jeremy's slowly inching up just to clear a club, and this should also be a lot of information for Team Secret, so they can avoid the Steel Garden entirely. But there's the Hunter's Fury.
Yeah, just using double up. You push them back. Now you have better ideas of where they're running away to. I don't mind it, but they're still stopped. Spike eventually gets planted.
All right. So a bit of a trade so far, but Wildor will keep things competitive, tries to get away. Poppy stays ahead of it, pushes through his own smoke, and now looking for the kill against 2GE, in with the shorty, but 2G still manages to get away with at least one. 2 players left from Team Secret, and Jesse Vash stuck inside of Art. He was trying to go for that chase just to keep them away from the spike. Jeremy now swapped over onto a rifle, looking to stick or at least go for the tap. Draws out one player from GE. Now Poppy trying to stay alive. Jesse Vash coming in with the additional reinforcements onto his Crystal. Gets snapped, but Poppy in with one tap onto Jeremy. Has the advantage of the spike, but a little bit of movement and accuracy. Now comes back for a second one. Gets down Jesse Vash once again. The new face of the Philippines. Ends the first half almost 8-3.
I mean, this is almost poetic. Poppy getting those 2 clutches against Jesse Vash. It's almost like he's trying to send a message out here.
I got overexcited.
Yeah, 12-4 and 7, but I mean, this was, Jesse plays as best as he could once they were down in numbers. And this moment right here, we're seeing this so much from GE. It's just a very paper Rex thing to do. W Gaming, you just press them with numbers, right? It doesn't matter if it's close quarters, whatever. We will come out on top because we've got so many bodies. They just throw their bodies in the way to get kills. And Unotan gets the pick on Jeremy.
He had clicked, that might have been a collat, but absolutely right. Unotan just a little bit faster now, even with Jeremy's newfound confidence, kind of breaks it all apart. It's a lot more space for it now. So far, though, the plan has been for GE to kind of take space around Art and then maybe come back in through the connector for that B split. Hence, Team Secret having 3 players to hold off this ground.
Ooh, Hunter's Fury being used just for some information. If you can get a tag, maybe, but not finding anything in mid. If you had gotten any tags, maybe you push them away from mid. Maybe you know exactly how many there are, but now it's a bit of a back to square one. So Team Secret, they just have to accept the fact that they have a buffer here. Jesse Vash, though, not in a position to run away.
Yeah, you have to recon.
Oh, he needs to check and then be ready to run because they've gone for a stack on B, the drone.
Okay.
That's a lot of footsteps, Jesse.
Run.
Jesse, he wants 1 kill. He knows he can't just run away. He gets 1.
Wow. Goes for the Jesse! A triple, a quad, the ace! He sprays and goes them all down!
कोई बात नहीं
The
वो लोग
ain't done yet!
Switching sides.
The judgment call and the aim to boot.
On my intel. Don't give them time to reposition.
He knew running away he would just get gunned down. And I thought maybe get 1 kill, back off. They'll have to re-clear you. No, he stands his ground. Slices up the, oh, he's ready. That 3rd kill onto Kelly S is ridiculous. Oh my God.
Shreds it off his shoulder.
Doesn't even bat an eye.
I've done this before. I've done this a million times in my career.
Well played, Jesse Vash. Nice aim, man. Nice aim. Nice
I'm
try.
gonna be honest. You end the half like that, you gotta count that as momentum going into the second half. I mean, that is a game changer right there.
Surely. A poetic answer back to Poppy as well, though. So trying to bring that forward into the next one, the next half. And this is where you might think their composition, could work out a little bit better on the attacking side, double initiator. But the same could be said for GE with their double sentinel. And this is where that Vise kind of comes in with so much value. I've seen it in the offseason from the SBL where the sheer wall is able to kind of hold off so much time that the rotations come over.
We'll see Secret if he's ready for it. Meow looking a lot better after that last round of the half. I mean, the score obviously still a little ways to go, but you know that now your players are still locked in, and now they're more motivated than ever. They're IGL, the veteran, once again, just proving that he's still got it.
Yo, this is day 2 of Pacific Kickoffs. Why do I feel like it's already so intense?
I mean, yesterday too, Pacific is firing on every single match we've had so far, truly delivering after the whole weight of the offseason.
Like Boom challenging T1. It's crazy. It's Pacific, and everyone's rising together. Now on to the next second half. Team Secret slowly stacking up towards B. They've left a spike though, so just trying to maybe bait out some utility.
Trying to get whatever they can on B, right? And
Defense मेरा ख्याल था अच्छा होने वाला.
getting that shear to activate. Now Now with that smoke as well, I think that almost makes it easier. Yeah, for GE to just go for that sheer trap. And he gets out. And during that, they're hoping if you push out a mid, we'll get that pick. But right now, no movement from GE.
Yeah, B-Link smoked off as well.
Here it comes, though.
Oh.
You know it's smoked off, so they expect something out here mid.
That's two players invested, but it's a collect for Envy. No, it works out against them. Kellyas, though, will be able to hold from the other side. So back to square one, 3-on-3. But again, that sheer wall baited out just gives so much value to Team Secret. They can then rotate all the way over into A site. Got to deal with the early Killjoy utility, which also does delay. So to be fair, GE doing great so far in the reads.
Yeah, they are able to push out the Killjoy as well, so Darian just gonna have to respect that space. Kelly's already here, though. Gets some tags onto Jeremy. Jesse Vash.
Perfect.
Jesse Vash, though, his location in Flowers. I don't know if you expect that. 2G just has to stay alive. Oh, Jesse!
Player standing.
Gets traded 1-for-1. And 2G gets taken down by Kelly's, and GE continues to roar in the second half.
Just trying to play for that position in towards Flower, right? But unfortunately, with the Classic, starting things off fresh on a second half, a little bit of a whiff, not quite finding the dinks that he needed, and at the same time, just not quite having the players towards the end of it as well. So that's GE now so far today. I mean, I think this is 4 pistol rounds out of the 6 on the 3 maps.
See if they can continue that. 4 people in Region Armor this time around. Oh, 3, there we go.
Wow.
That seems to be the go-to for them. That seems to be the econ they want to go with in the current meta. Of course, the Outlaw, a fan favorite now in these anti-ecos.
Standing ahead.
Jesse Vash trying to fight back with a bit of a Marshall too, though, so see what they can do. Just playing around that B position.
Unless Jesse Vash is going to try to peek out and get a 1v1 duel, I'm not buying into this Marshall, though, right? Because at the end of the day, if that sheer wall is still set up on B, unless you push up, you're not really getting any value.
So just kind of holding in case maybe they push out. Early A presence from Team Secret to bait more, plays from GE, but not too much found. It is pistols. There's that push out, but unfortunately falls to, of course falls to the Outlaw.
तो अब ये लोगों को पता है कि ट्रिपल चल रहा है.
Then he's going to switch positions as well because they still have so much delay, and Kelly's even gets a pick on B-Link. I mean, the map now currently just blind for Team Secret. They don't have any control. It is their eco, but I do wonder if even after the buy round, if they go for the same things. Oh, well, that thought.
It's just not going to work out. Team Secret just kind of walking blindly, barreling through.
Nice round, nice round, guys. Nice round.
Crystal,
well played, well
the
played.
last one.
All right, so on this buy round, I don't want to see Secret try to bait out a push out again, because here's the thing, you're playing against a double Sentinel. Unless you cleared out all of their util in the first 40 seconds, they have no reason to push out. They have so many ways to delay you. So thinking that you can push B or you can push A and then they'll surely peek out because this map is so big. Yes, the map is big, but again, they're playing double Sentinel. You have to be cognizant of that fact. And it's a Vice and then a Killjoy. I mean, they can just sit on their butts the whole entire round if you don't show yourselves.
Max delay. Set up a couch, get some snacks. Just wait for opponents to push through. You already have those traps, but now a little bit of a swing out from Art. Poppy will be able to walk away with the kill.
Now the regen once again getting some value. This time, obviously, on that bonus, so trying to get ahead of things, but they're not trying to take that space. They just want to do some damage, which they would have done.
Oh, but now walking through,
Jeremy.
Sheer wall.
Jeremy all alone. They know he stepped on it.
Cloud first, but there it is. They managed to hop onto the sheer wall to try to provide him with support, though, but now full commitment into the site.
Oh, Kelly, yes.
GE, yeah, still holding out from dugout. They have the angles, everything all locked down and key, and it's just Envy. Picks up the spike, maybe trying to go back through Art, but back in towards Flowers and spots out Udotan.
Nice round, well played, guys, well played. Let's go.
Down to the Outlaw, and that's GE. Onto this last map. They start things off in the second half, 11-4.
I mean, you're in danger of giving up match point to Global Esports right now. Team Secret, you gotta pull out all the stops. I mean, this time they were pretty committed after they take that first fall, but they lost their controller, which meant Yeah, they had to commit, and Kelly, yes, yeah, you roar like that when you have such a good setup. He had the shear wall, and then you had an angle where you could spam through. If you hear them go onto the Razor Vine, you know exactly where they're going to be. A great setup on that A site.
And pulling out all the stops means that you're going to have to somewhat force buy or half buy for this round, where you're staring at potential match and series point for GE.
Okay, so they recognize the setups have always been on main, so you're going to try to go through Art. But it's a double setup across her. GE is so ahead of
okay.
Oh, okay.
January Jeremy, he's got the triple! Off to the Sheriff, how does he do it?
Love the confidence coming out from the entire team. I mean, Jeremy goes out. I mean, he doesn't even have the backup trades coming out yet, but he's just good for those headshots. Now position well held. GE, they have nothing to lose. They'll go for whatever damage they can.
ये मिस्टेक हुआ है, अभी कैसे मिस्टेक हुआ? वाइस को ये लोग एक खेलने के लिए दे दिया. वाइस को बी खेलने देता, किंजोय को एक खेलने देता, टारट डाल देता, बस. और यहाँ दो होल्ड करता बी पे. ट्रिपल खेलता है. ये ट्रिपल खेला तो सही है पर.
Oh, okay. You take that win. Udotan, yeah, getting one more. Uh-oh. I mean, here's the thing. Team Secret, they've got a long way to go. Yeah, they did an all buy, but you gotta watch out when you're giving these ult points, because yes, you're getting closer to your ults, but G really just needs that one round to get to match point.
That's all it is. Needing to stretch and extend whatever they've got to ration all of it out, because these rounds are far and few between, but when it does happen, oh my god. Just anticipating the potential setups, the potential holds. Jeremy able to secure and collect onto those kills just means so much for the experienced team.
Revealing area.
Off to the next rounds now, trying to build up on towards those ultimates too.
So look at this reset up from GE. Now stars across all lanes just for some extra delay. You scouted for that recon early on. It's not a rush through mid, so you feel a bit safer. Both sides on the map, both mains, A main and B main, you've got that shear wall, you've got the alarm bot. So you have a lot of ways to delay the main force, and then it's a bit of a chaotic fight in Art, in B-Link. B-Link being watched by the turret as well. So again, the only thing you're concerned about is going to be a push through Art, once again cleared with the drone. So still at a minute mark. That space not taken by Secret.
Being able to read all of it too. GE are very prepared, and if it is a chaotic fight, Steel Garden at the ready to bring some order to that chaos. TS.
Oh, I like, oh, well, that's even better for Team Secret. Yeah, that's a good pick from Jeremy. He's coming back online once again. 12 kills on this map. But what they just did was they drew attention on B-Link by taking out the turret. Then they were ready to go for a pinch onto A. So even if the shear wall comes out, you're able to provide support. But now that you have a kill, you might as well wait and all go through.
That's what it is. I mean, the Vise is down too, more critically, and that should give them the sight. But Udotan trying to play in for a potential push out with the shorty. GE though. Ooh, looking for the stick, just gets it. Down to half HP, and he has to back off. Now Udotan back into the op, and he's looking to deny them from peeking out. Jesse Vash can pin down around the site while the rest of his team holds out from Art.
All right, Jesse just gonna try to, oh, a nice crack position from Jeremy. Up top.
Pop flashed by Envy too.
Yeah, and that's gotta be the save coming in. Udotan, been spotted as well. Poppy, he'll get one to his name, but that does put Jesse Vash 1 point away from the Hunter's Fury, I believe. So Team Secret, they're getting closer to really trying to tie things up. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Oh, whoa, whoa. Everybody thought the same thing. Even the Korean casters says, whoa. Everybody was saying it.
We're getting glimpses of everything. That's just how close and tight this entire match feels. Despite the score difference, Team Secret still able to fight back. Just some movements across the map, like you mentioned, right? Baiting out the turret, but also the minute and precise movements from Jeremy right now.
I need a weapon.
अभी इसलिए हार रहा है. किल जो है वो वापस A पे खिलाओ. उसको वाइस को B पे खिलाओ. नहीं तो नहीं होगा.
A lot for Team Secret. And he does not look faltered just yet, leading the scoreboard for his team. Looks like it's going to be once again some fish for info over by the A side. A good tag on the 0 point. Okay, denying the orb away from Jesse. Or even 2G.
And then backing off. Job's done, and already getting a little bit of information off of that as well. They knew that that was Team Secret's intention. So forcing them to re-clear with some mags, while the rest of the map stays pretty much dark and quiet.
So on the A site, the changeup from GE looking like they're ready to just make sure they can have a retake through the art side, right? You've got the shear to make sure that you block off any sort of pinch, but then you still have the arc rows to check for info in that zone if you need. But Team Secret, I don't know if they have a hard read on it, but once again, they're just saying, hey, we don't see the shear over on the A side. They'll just clear for any Razor Vines, and they start to walk in.
Slowly, surely, and it's Jeremy to lead the charge once again, going back in to clear on Arc, but it's a bit of a bait setup. GE comes back in to re-clear and takes down Jeremy. While they're at the trade off of the push from Art, though, now that gives Team Secret a little bit more space. Maybe looking for it, but not quite clear enough to get the spike down. They're back in towards Art. Poppy just holding off from the other side. If they do continue to push out, Crystal has the angle as well. Managing to right-click onto that Guardian, zooms in, scopes in, and secures match point for Global Esports.
Match point.
Match point for GE.
I'll fix it up.
Fans across the globe cheering right now when they've been waiting for a moment to be back in the spotlight. And they're looking good. Team Secret, they try to gather themselves in the second half, but now they have a very, very long way to go. 6 rounds in a row needed for overtime.
And that's going to be a tremendous feat. Both timeouts spent. This is the last one.
So something that's really been hampering their progress here on the attack, I mean, obviously not too many chances just yet, but it's going to be that Vice utility, right? You see the shear, now you wonder, okay, how do we bait it out? Do we go all across it together? Do we wait until the Vice peaks? But if you don't see it, you're wondering, okay, so what is the setup here? And that just means that wherever it is, we haven't tripped it yet. So they still have hard info. So this is why that sheer wall being indestructible means so much, because even if you don't trip it, it's so much time wasted for the attacking team to try to put pressure on, because that just means one part of the map will always have 100% information. And I wonder, Team Secret, if the changeup now is going to be to try to push fast into 1 or 2 lanes right at the beginning so you know exactly what you want to do. But it seems like a risk when you're already giving up match point to the enemies.
Definitely. They do have the ultimates to try to make it work, but then you're thinking about the rest of the map. So for now, just kind of back to that early A main contention again. GE not making it easy for them whatsoever. Udotan pushing up B long with that op as well.
Bladestorm online, it's got to be a Jeremy round. Otherwise, Secret going to be knocked down to the lower bracket here in Kickoff 2025.
All in or nothing. Early Thorns being activated. So now they're looking out for Kelly S. Spotting him out with the drone.
Oh! No. That's the controller down again!
Pushed all the way up into club.
And now look at the switch up. They send the op back so it can find a new position. Meanwhile, it's going to be Darion holding that position. So if you get to A site late, that's an operator waiting for you. Oh no, Wild Oreo. They're starting to break down.
Looking for Kelly S, but that goes down apart. Jeremy not finding the right click either. Dash straight into him. Envy trying to scavenge as much as possible. Has the spike alongside Jesse Vash. A little bit separated from each other, but
30 seconds left.
You need to push on through into the site. It's already heavily reinforced.
I mean, this has to take a miracle. Envy has to take some incredible 1v1s right now. Yes, Jesse is here, but the angles are tough.
Whoa, still low. Yeah, just not quite going to work out. The grab well secures way too much. Jesse Vash trying to pull a miracle out of a hat, but it's Poppy to seal
Well played,
the deal.
Global Esports. Well played, guys.
Team
Well
Secret
played.
down into the lower bracket. Global Esports takes the win, and what a debut it is.
Moving on up in the upper bracket, something we haven't been able to say for this team. No matter the roster, they tried to build, rebuild again, and now from the ground up, they bring an absolutely star-studded roster full of potential, and they're starting to reach that right from the beginning.
A little bit shaky on the first one, to say the least, but as they move on to the next maps, we started to see some of those rock-solid foundations, those individual players, the coaching staff as well. I mean, very clear into how they prep for that split, as well as this Pearl, this composition, taking that advantage over Team Secrets.
Yeah, I mean, obviously on Abyss, things were a little different. They looked a little bit lost, right? They didn't look like they had clarity on exactly how they wanted to play that map, but the maps that they chose, the maps that they left open all the way to the end, GE said we know exactly what we want to do here.
Abyss को ये लोग को ठीक करना पड़ेगा. Abyss में नहीं हो रहा.
Look at the smiles on their faces. They said they were building up, but they said very confidently, we don't need the whole year. We're ready to really just come here and pop off right from the beginning.
And that's already such a good look for the whole lot of them. I mean, we should add that at the same time, this is also a global esports that's playing in with Darien, right? A last-minute addition because Patrick wasn't able to get the visa or whatever, and they're just looking so good. I mean, you can see how every single one of them are able to pop off. We saw a lot of moments from Urotan in with the raise, Poppy as well the clutches, but also Darien.
켈리에스 선수 인터뷰 만나보겠습니다. Hi guys, congratulations. If I could just grab Kelias with a post-match interview, ta-da, you get it. So please join me right up here. There. 네, 켈리스 선수 위해서 박수 한번 부탁드리겠습니다. GG, that was beautiful. Okay, 이제 오늘 도착해서 했던 딱지 게임은 졌지만 경기는 이겼습니다.
왜?
시크릿을 상대로 오늘 퍼시픽에서 첫 승리 소감부터 묻도록 하겠습니다. Though you lost that 딱지 game that we played once you got to the venue, you won today's game against Team Secret. How does taking your first win here at Pacific like?
It feels good honestly because it's my first VCT game and it feels nice to win it right away.
VCT를 합류하고 첫 번째 승리를 했기 때문에 조금 더 값진 승리라고 이야기를 했습니다. 그리고 좀 대리온 선수를 막바지 이렇게 합류시키면서 촉박하게 시즌 준비를 들어갔었습니다. 그 과정들과 얼마나 열심히 했었을지에 대해서 직접 한번 물어보고 싶은데요. Darian joined at the last minute. It must have taken a lot of grinding to get all of your ducks in order. So can you talk to me about how that process was like?
I think Derek joining us to the team, it changes a lot our play style because when Patrick, who is with us, we're a very aggressive team, but with Derek now we can mix it up now, passive, aggressive. So yeah.
You can mix it up, play different styles. 아무래도 대리온 선수 합류하고 나서 운영 스타일에 대한 이런 폭이 되게 넓어진다고 이야기를 하네요. 패트리크 선수가 있었을 땐 되게 공격적인 플레이 위주로 이렇게 경기를 풀어 나갔다면 대리온 선수와는 이제 경기 상황에 맞게 운영 스타일을 다양하게 바꿔갈 수 있다는 게 큰 장점이라고 이야기를 했습니다. 그리고 켈리에스 선수가 팀의
OK， 狂恋争夺结束，卢克肯定是要飞一下的，两个烟飘一下落地找人，他反杀了 slowly， 奥勒楼下已经做到了非常不错的效果。再来，防守方在回防的过程当中还不错，但时间已经是不够了。
这个爆能器现在拆除过半，来得及吗？
要拆，不能松手了，正面打赢。哇，真拆完了，2.12秒，其实时间是充足的，第一时间只存活。
얼마나 다양하게 하는지에 대해서도 한번 물어보고 싶습니다. You are
who
the
can we go
IGL
against?
of
Who
global
is-
esports, but there's also Crystal, who's famous as his IGL role. So how did you guys finalize that role, like decision, and does he also chime in when you
Think
make the
we
orders as
played-
well? 라고 한다고 합니다. 켈리에스 선수 존중을 하면서 그 중간 지점을 이렇게.
Definitely. They do have the whatsoever. Urotan pushing up
बस करो यार, बस
The switch up, they send the op back so it can find a new position. Meanwhile, it's going to be Darian holding that position. So if you get to A site late, that's an operator waiting for you. Oh no,
जिंकली जी.
They're starting to break down.
1400 लोक आलेत मग मी तिकडे थिएटरला बघायला. त्यांनी 3 थिएटरचे स्क्रीन बुक केले. विचार कर म्हणजे किती लोक.
Envy trying to scavenge as much as possible.
GG in chat. जीच्या इंडियन टीम आहे ती. ती जिंकली. भारी जिंकली आणि.
I mean, this has to take a miracle. Envy has to take some incredible 1v1s
पण
right
इंडियन
now.
नाही
Yes,
कोण त्याच्यात
Jesse's
खेळणार.
here, but man, those are tough.
Whoa, still low. Yeah, just not quite going to work out. The grab well secures way too much. Jesse Vash trying to pull a miracle out of the hat, but it's Poppy to seal the deal, sending Team Secret down.
Let's go. जिसे
बढ़िया बढ़िया गाइस, चलो चलते हैं अभी। तो आज तो मैच कुछ नहीं है, चाइना का तो मैच देखने का कुछ बनता नहीं है। चलो अभी नेक्स्ट मैच में देखते हैं, नहीं तो लाइव स्ट्रीम आता रहता है। ओके बाय बाय।